Why, hello there. Well, welcome back to one of my beats. Today we're back with good old Koisuru Natsu Last Resort. Yes, I actually set up my webcam so I can do this joke. Arise like a vampire from his coffin. Anyways, today we're back with Koisuru Natsu Last Resort. Again, sorry about not finishing Michi's route as I promised last time. But hey, I found out that the part before that, I apparently reached the halfway point. Like yesterday, I found out about that after the recording. So there was no way I was gonna finish that route in a feasible time anyways. So if anything, now you get a second part of solid length. Instead of half hour. So yeah, that's all there is to say about that. Today, I'll try to finish the Riho-Route. Shouldn't be too much of a problem, I think. I hope. Maybe. Oh well, I have the booze to accompany me through this journey, so I shall be fine. Anyways. It's morning. Time to rise and shine. Oh, also something that happened today in the D&D session. We've held 2 long rests out in the wilderness at this point because the session, the campaign we're currently doing, is like a zombie apocalypse one. And basically, hold on. Basically, we had to camp outside twice. Both times, Yashana, my character, decided to stay awake and sing a Song of Rest since she's a bard. But she's the character I was talking about, where I just decided, you know what, fuck it, joke character. She's just the biggest thought on the earth, on the surface of the fucking earth. So basically, both times she stayed awake until our ranger, who's an elf, woke up. Basically, both times I rolled a nat 1 for perception. Both times Yashana encountered a zombie dog. However, the first time I wasn't sure if he would be able to spread the virus, so Yashana decided to basically put it out of its misery with Sacred Flame. Since the zombies do have an ability where they get to roll to survive any damage that isn't radiant. Oh, and also none of the zombies are weak to radiant. All of them are, none of them are weak to radiant. The only thing that radiant damage does is that they are guaranteed dead if they reach 0 HP instead of, getting to roll to survive. We had this one zombie. Our paladin was on the front lines just taking out, zombie after zombie with fucking smites. That was me and our ranger. This was the first session, so this was the first fight with the fucking zombies. That was just me and the ranger. Just, he had preferred prey zombies. And, the two of us just constantly pelted this fucking zombie. I constantly fucking threw Eldritch Blasts at it, since Yashana is, level 3 Warlock, level 2 Bard. I constantly just threw fucking Eldritch Blasts at the thing, and it just wouldn't fucking die. It was honestly fucking hilarious in a way. Anyways, it's morning! Time to rise and shine. Oh, she noticed what was going on. Oh, good morning, Kosugi. Did you have nice dreams? I barely managed to sleep a wink. Oh man, I'm really feeling it now. Oh, about work today.
Senpai?
Of course I'm leaving. You've got to get changed after all. Huh? What are you saying? For starters, I don't have anywhere else to go. Oh. Could it be that she heard us last night? Please wait, Kosugi. Let me explain. You don't understand. Of course she doesn't. In fact, she seems like a different person right now, all the way down to the tone of her voice. If I were in her shoes, I'd be pretty pissed too. I know you're mad at me right now, Kozaki. But even though we're not on the best of terms, parting on the best of terms, I just want to say thank you, Kozaki, for everything. She throws a bunch of objects at me that were never intended to be airborne. I'm sorry! I hurried from the room, leaving apologies in my wake. Yeah, well, I suppose this would be the natural consequence of my actions. So that's more or less why I have to move in with you now. Wonder whose fault it is. Don't tell me you've been keeping a tally. Of course not. Oh, fuck off! Hold on, I don't have the censorship open in the background. This should be like 620. Zero, 6, 20. Oh, by the way, the whole zombie dog thing. The second one, our ranger decided to adopt it. Because this time we were able to, you know, determine that it can't pass on the virus for some fucking reason. I don't get why. And the reason why Yashana didn't decide to tame it, despite having a +4 into animal handling, was that basically, you know what? I'm not dealing with another. She already had to like make a grave for that one. And now I wish somehow that I could also play my Yuan-Ti sorcerer, since he has dragon's breath. Meaning the pupper could actually take part in combat by just breathing fire at people. Technically. Anyways. While she certainly has a ravenous sexual appetite, he also tends to be very direct in general. She made the absurd suggestion that Kozaki join us for a threesome. I did not know about that one. Huh. Knowing full well she was right there in the room with us. Looking back, I think she was half joking, half serious. Anyway, let's try to make the best of things.
Hi, こちらこそ。私、ルームメイトが増えて嬉しいですの。
It's kind of like two lovers moving in together, don't you think? I seriously have no idea where she gets all this energy. But come to think of it, I'm one to talk. I have to apologize to Kozaki later. I thought she was asleep and we did unspeakable things in front of her. No matter what happens, I have to accept the blame for that. However many times she'd like to slap me across the face, I'll accept it with dignity.
これからはもっと長い時間一緒にいられますの。
If I can wake up to the smile every morning, perhaps it won't be too high a price to pay after all. We need to put this thing away. I have way too much fun with this thing. Morning.
おはようございます。宗太郎さんは今日も早いんですね。
That's just how life is on the island. Early to bed, early to rise. There's not a lot to do late at night.
それはもっと夜の生活も充実させるべきということでしょうか。
Do we have to talk about this first thing in the morning?
してる最中は楽しそうにしてますのに。
One thing has nothing to do with the other. Anyways, we have to get dressed. We'll be late for work otherwise.
そうですわね。
Today's the start of the big summer cleanup. You've got to be ready for anything. Riho?
はい、そうですね。今日から夏の大掃除ですからね。頑張りませんと。
Huh? Did you just repeat that back to me like a parrot? She sounded almost robotic. Rio seems off her game today. She's usually pretty together, even when she first gets up. But she's basically acting like Kozaki right now. That's a bit insulting to Kozaki, isn't it? Now that I take a closer look at her. Her cheeks are much more flushed than usual. Hold still a sec.
Hi.
Did she misunderstand me? She closes her eyes and puckers her lips for a kiss. Ignore that for now and place my palm on her forehead.
あれ
What should I do? Does she have a fever? Or is she warm because it's the middle of a heat wave? I can't be sure.
ティース、しないんですか
Sorry, but I need to do this. I apologize in advance and press my forehead to hers.
今、宗太郎さんのお顔がとっても近くにありますのね。私はこれ、幸せですの。
Yeah, it is kind of nice, isn't it? However, I think she's delirious because of sickness right now. Rio, I think you're running a fever.
熱が出てますか
Yeah, and a rather high one at that. Did you get cold? Does your body feel heavy?
大丈夫ですわ。ちょっとぐらい熱があったって。
What are you saying? You can't push yourself when you're like this.
それは困ります。だって私、もっと働かないと。
It's not worth it, ruining your health for the sake of some car. Besides, a day's rest isn't so bad.
私、実を言うと、皆勤賞を目指してますの。だから、お仕事を頑張らないと、なんですよ。
I can understand how you feel, but today you're going to stay in your room and rest. I'll let everyone know you're not feeling well.
だけど、大掃除には人手が必要だって。
Think about what you just said. If you faint this morning, you'll be out of commission for much longer than a day. And don't you remember what the point of this resort is? It's meant to heal. So someone as sick as you shouldn't be working right now. If you're not all there, you're just asking for a work accident. So please, rest for now.
けど、私。
She doesn't seem to be getting it no matter how much logic I throw at her. She's surprisingly stubborn. Riho? Put my hands on Riho's shoulders and gently force her into a sitting position on the bed. I think your enthusiasm and commitment are some of your strongest qualities, Riho, but I'm worried about you.
私のことが
Yeah.
それは、私の彼氏だからですの
That's right. I'm also your colleague. Man, it's really embarrassing saying stuff like this stuff to someone's face.
宗太郎さん、やっぱり可愛い。
Anyway, there are lots of things I'm happy to compromise with you on, but when it comes to your health, I want you to listen to me, at least for today. Do you hear what I'm saying? There you go. You're our one stubborn Ojo-sama.
だって、
I'll let you in on a little secret.
休んでも、バイト代が入る裏技とか
Ojo-sama, don't you think you're a little obsessed with money? Rio's already flushed face turns an even deeper shade of crimson. Money is probably... it's never the prime motivator. There's gotta be something more important to you than money, Riho.
お金より大事なこと
What's essential is invisible to the eye.
それ、星の王子様の
You remember?
忘れるわけありません。だって宗太郎さんが教えてくれた言葉だから。
In a few more days, the proceeds will reach their peak. When that time comes, do you really want to be sick and dead because of some foolish decision?
それは
You want to make a wish, don't you? On a shooting star.
私お星様にお願いしないといけないことが叶えてほしいことがありますの。だから流れ星たくさん見たいんです。
Whoops. So then the first step is getting well. You won't be able to make your wish otherwise. You have to be able to speak, you know.
わかりましたの。
Did you finally understand? Okay then, I'll be heading out now.
いってらっしゃいです。
I'm a little hesitant to leave Riho alone when she's sick, but I'll come back as soon as I can.
おはようさんです。翔太郎くん。おはようございます。
Good morning, you two.
あれリホね一緒じゃないんですか？
Oh, she's running a slight fever at the moment.
大丈夫なんですか？
I think it's just a mild cold.
そういう時に一人って心細いと思うんですよね。
Yeah, I know. I wish I could be there with her, but it's a work day.
話は聞かせてもらいました。私も
Shiori, Kozaki.
いっそのこと宗太郎も一緒に休んでしまうという選択肢もありますが。そうだよ、そうしてあげなよ宗太郎くん。私もその方がいいかなって。
That it does sound awfully tempting.
なんで迷ってるの？待ってください。先輩は苦学生だからここで稼いでおかないと後でご飯がパンの耳だけに。なるほど。ノーフューチャーですか。
Yeah, very well put, Shiori.
そうなの？
No, it's not that bad. But there is some truth to it.
でしたら私が見に行きます。
But you won't be able to work if you do that, Shiori.
お金には困ってませんので。
Really?
はい。
I see. It seems like Shiori comes from a wealthy family too. Well, it is what it is. To be honest, I think I'd like to take you up on that offer, Shiori. In return, I'll handle both our workloads. That way we won't cause any problems for Nagisa.
では決まりですね。
Thank you so much.
これぐらいは別に特に問題がないようなら私も後から合流します。
As Shiori heads off to keep watch over Riho, I heave a sigh of relief. For now, at least, I don't have to worry about her. Now then, shall we get to work? Sango tugs on my sleeve.
ごめんね宗太郎くん。よくわからないのにあんなこと言って。
Pet her.
私も考えが足りませんでした。
No, don't even worry about it. I just have some special circumstances is all. Thanks for clearing things up, Kozaki.
それはいつも先輩が私のことをフォローしてくれてたからその恩返しです。
Hold on. Need to break my back real quick. It didn't work. Oh well. Oh, why do I feel slightly out of breath? Thank you. Even so, given Rio's condition, why did I even leave her alone in the first place? I could probably hazard a guess, a rather precise one at that. First, I don't have money, plain and simple. I know this fact all too well. As things stand right now, my hands are tied as to what I can do. Alternatively, we could say I left her bedside to fulfill my duties as a worker. Hold on. If I'm able to do all of Riho's work along with my own, then I'll have efficiently fulfilled both of our responsibilities. In each scenario, my rationale can simply be summed up as I had a job to do. Which is a much nicer way of looking at it than saying I needed the money. After all, as a functioning member of society, I'll be judged on how I approach my responsibilities. And yet, there's a part of me that doesn't buy into this simple explanation. But my life to be meaningful, even though I was a boring and unremarkable person, until I become an adult, poverty is pretty much my only option. That's why I want to make the most of my life, such as it is. This ridiculous ideal lifestyle I've envisioned. It's a luxury afforded only to those who have more financial breathing room than myself. For a long time, I opted for the pragmatic life instead. With my feet planted firmly on the ground, I managed to live with some semblance of meaning. Yet I don't find that side of myself at all appealing. There's a part of me that wails against living such a life. After all, that's how my parents lived. Ordinary lives filled with ordinary likes and dislikes. But what if this unpleasant lifestyle is necessary to live at all? What if it's an unavoidable stepping stone to achieving my ideal, meaningful lifestyle? There's no choice but to accept it, right? It's the only path open to me. But in the end, even if just for a moment, that would mean I'd be betraying my thoughts, my values. When the time comes for me to decide, can I guarantee I won't make the same choices my parents did? If that's the only option open to me, would it be better just to kill myself? That came out of nowhere! No, that's not an option. At least not for me. Despite what I've said, I'm not as zealous about my beliefs. If that's how it ends up, then that's how it ends up. At a certain point, I just have to accept my fate. You just have to accept your fate. That'd be perfectly normal. That's how life is, after all. Even though I know that. Even though I know that's what it means to be an adult. It's dull. It's so relentlessly dull. Even though that's how my life is supposed to end up, and even though I intend to accept it, even though I advance step by step towards my goal, my life as it stands today, the values I've developed, are all, in the end, very much meaningless. But there's one day fear. Wait, what? Isn't that all the more reasons for me not to give up? I've tasted despair so many times that I've lost count. And each time I've struggled and writhed in agony. As a result, I inch forward at a snail's pace. And yet in the end, that's the only way of doing things. When all's said and done, this is the life I've ever made. This is the life I've chosen. She really rejoins us partway through our workday. Welcome back. So, how'd it go?
軽めの食事を運んでおきました。それと、やはり熱もあったようなので、解熱剤を。ただ、本人は意外と元気そうでした。
See, thank you, that's a big relief. She usually laughs weakly.
これで仕事に集中できますね。
Right, yeah, I guess
こ
so.
っちの芝は私がやっておきますので。
Thanks. Okay, with that handled, the knot in my chest has loosened somewhat. If I can manage to finish a little earlier than usual, I'll hurry back to her side. Bollocks. I'm back. Oops. She's asleep. I nearly woke her. Your fever's gone down. Rather, the symptoms seem to be gone too. Should I leave her be for now? He opened the fridge, overwhelmed with gratitude. In a corner of the freezer sits a cute character-themed ice pack, Hyaru-kun. She really never fails to amaze. She doesn't miss a single detail. She's really something. Okay. Swap out the Hyaru-kun on Ryo's forehead with a new one from the fridge. Ryo's face brightens. That fresh ice pack must feel really nice. Yeah. I really should be quiet right now. But when people do cute things, what other choice do I have? Maybe she'll go to bed early too. She should be back to normal by morning. Good night, Riho. Now he's sick. Oh, already up?
Hi.
Like yesterday, Rio's already changed into her uniform before I'm even awake. That's a pleasant surprise. Do you have any lingering symptoms from your cold?
大丈夫ですの。ほらほら。
What? Theo jumps up and down excitedly. Her breasts come bouncing along for the ride, of course. Wait, shouldn't I be looking at her face?
ね?
Oh, yeah.
あ、信用していませんね。もっと跳ねましょうか?
Oh, that's okay. Those weapons of mass destruction are far too effective at grabbing my attention. Okay, he didn't go for it twice.
だってまだ見たいですよね。
It's not like I have any particular interest in your chest or anything.
やっぱり見てましたのね。
Ugh, she's laughing. It seems I've been had. You caught me out. That was tricky of you. But I can't help being a guy.
そうみたいですね。宗太郎さんとお付き合いしてから少しずつ男心が分かってきました
Also,
の。
I've realized, okay, this is still fitting. Okay, good. Also, I've just noticed that I didn't move the cam up here. Back to down here. I'll just leave it here because I could just see myself constantly forgetting. Anyways. Jeez.
でも宗太郎さん、そんなに私のおっぱいが好きなんですか?
Well, yeah, because, you know. As far as I can tell, Rio's complexion seems to be back to normal. Well, I'm glad to see you up and about. Just be careful not to overdo it. Regardless of how you might feel, you've only just gotten over your illness.
分かってますの。あれ、リホさん。あれ、もう大丈夫なの? はい、ご心配をおかけしました。本当に大丈夫なんですか? この通りですの。リホ姉が復帰したってことは、宗太郎くんも元気100倍だね。
Easy there, Sango.
図星ですか?
About to hit your fucking bullseye.
だそうですよ。宗太郎さん、どうなんですか?
Well, you know, if you're sick, of course I'm gonna worry.
リホさんは病み上がりなんですから、先輩もほどほどにしてくださいね。
What's that supposed to mean?
変態。
Also, you know, fuck it. Put it down here. I'm currently blocking poor Riho's, not Riho's, Umi's face. This again, huh?
恋の力?
You too, Konami?
あ、ごめんなさい。そんなつもりじゃ。やっぱりみんなのいるところが落ち着きますね。一人は寂しいですから。私もリホ姉がいなくて寂しかったよ。あっ!
After hearing these words, Sango hugs Riho from behind.
もうサンゴさんたら。だって。
Sango massages Riho's breasts with her fingers.
やっぱりこれがないと落ち着かないのです。
And with that, Sangha releases her hold on Riho.
面白かった。にしても知りませんでした。女の子もおっぱいが好きでしたのね。女の子も
He just fucking starts dripping with sweat. I don't know what you mean.
お、
コナミ？
あれごめんなさい、ごめんなさい。ちょっと宗太郎くん、コナミちゃんをいじめないで。
I didn't do anything.
もう、先輩は本当に油断も隙もないんですから。
That's I guess that's how it is now. Ha 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 ha. That's that I couldn't help worrying that our group dynamic would take a turn for the worst.
これでようやくいつも通りですね。あ、しおりさん。
When did you get here?
私という存在はどこにでもいてどこにもいませんから。冗談ですよ。
It's too abstract for me.
とりあえず腐女子の胸部へ触れるのはほどほどにお願いします。風紀が乱れますので。
Oh, right. Wait, what am I saying? But I probably shouldn't try to defend myself. It'll only prolong the agony. I managed to learn something new today. When a close-knit group of girls gets together, any man in their vicinity is doomed from the start. Why? Guess that's just the way it is. I've learned a very important lesson on this island. I'll be sure to remember it for the future.
今日も管理人さんは出てこられないので、分担は私が独断と偏見で決定します。コナミとリホは屋内で検査業を、私を含めたその他の全員は肉体労働です。
Whoops. Roger that.
わかりました。はーい。コナミちゃん、頑張ってね。リホさん、今日はよろしくお願いします。リホさん？はい。
What's wrong?
ごめんなさい。ぼーっとしてましたの。お昼のこと考えてて。リホねったら食いしん坊。
Mataru's cooking is so delicious after all.
今日は冷たいお蕎麦だそうです。ざるいいですよね。では私たちも行きましょうか。
There's something else on our mind.
はい。うだるような暑さってきっとこういう日にこそ使うべき言葉なんですよね。風がある分昨日よりは楽かな。
We just try to stay hydrated.
塩分も必要です。
As if by magic, she really produces some salted candies. Always prepared as expected. You make a rather impressive manager.
まだまだです。
Or could you be a little embarrassed?
先輩、しおりさんにまで粉かけないでくださいね。
That's not what I was doing.
どうだか。海ね、厳しい。
Prepare the head flicks.
先輩は油断ならない人ですからね。私の時だって。何かあったの？
It's nothing. Let's focus on our work.
私はまだ認めてません。
Maybe you should try putting all that diligence into your work instead.
リホさんに手を出したのに。
That's...
そう太郎くんの負け。この猛暑も明日以降は一段落するそうです。それまでは頑張りましょう。
That's right. If I recall, tomorrow is...
はい。 展望台の大掃除ですね。
So it's finally that time.
先輩、何か展望台に思い入れでも？
That's not it. I just get really excited being up that high.
なんとかと煙は高いところが好きって。
You heard it here first, folks. He likes getting high. He just really likes getting high. He just really likes it. There you go. Mark it a spoiler. Upload. I thought I just said that.
でも、いい場所ですよ。この島の景色を一望できて、耳を澄ませば、ウミネコの声も。
Umineko? What? Cat? Sea cats?
大変。皆さん、誰か。
She was not at all yet recuperated. Wasn't that Konami's voice just
コ
now?
ナミちゃんがウミネコに？
No, that's not what I mean.
大変なんです。
Konami runs over to us, completely out of breath.
本当にコナミちゃんだった。
What's wrong? Why all the panic?
また G が出たとか？先輩の出番ですね。宗太郎のレゾンデートル。今こそ、それを示す時です。
Fine, I'll do it, but please don't say my whole reason for existing is to exterminate cockroaches.
違うんです。そうじゃなくて。コナミちゃん、まずは落ち着いて。
I'm gonna go ahead and guess that Rio collapsed and probably isn't gonna be able to get out of bed when the proceeds actually show up.
でも、リホさんが。
Riho.
リホさんが急に倒れたんです。だから早く助けないとでも私どうしたらいいか。
I didn't give it a second thought. I started running.
翔太郎くん、待って。私も行くよ。海、コナミをよろしくお願いします。
That is quite the determined expression on her face. I don't remember that from her route. Or am I just retarded? Probably I'm just retarded. What happened to Rio? I have no clue, but I have to get to her right this second. If I don't, Rio might... Rio!
じゃあ、あとは安静にするように。
はい。ありがとうございました。
うん。それじゃあ、私はもう行くから。
Excuse me, but what's Rio's condition?
ああ、その話なんだが。
Before the doctor can finish his reply, a raindrop hits my cheek.
雨だね。
傘の準備を。
いや、折りたたみの用意があるから。しかし、見事なまでに天気予報が当たったね。
Weather's the least of my concerns right now.
宗太郎、リホの件は私から。
いや、
Doctor cut Shuri short.
思えばすぐに済む話だ。私から直接説明しよ
What's wrong with Riho?
う。大丈夫。そう深刻な状態じゃない。風邪と過労による貧血。あとは心因性の要因もあるのかな。
Psychological. Do you mean it's something stress related?
まあそうなるけど、人間なら誰しも多少のストレスは抱えているものさ。だから彼女に必要なのはまず休息だ。
So even if she's in a bad way now, if she rests, she'll get better.
そういうことだね。あとは元気が戻るまであまり負荷をかけないこと。
That's all it was. See, that's a relief.
君はなんだ？彼女の大事な人か？
If you put it that way, then yeah, I guess so.
大事にしたまえよ。今回は良かったけど、壊れてからじゃ元に戻らないこともあるからね。
I'll be sure to take care of her. And I said some things to you earlier. I apologize for my behavior. I hang my head and bow deeply. No matter how panicked I was, still no excuse for rudeness. Really, thank you very much.
気にするな。そういうのは慣れてるからな。
Listen, sometimes emotions just fly high and suddenly the patient's boyfriend or something sucks me in the face. Happens plenty. If anything, this is a welcome fucking change.
ただまあ、次の医者にかかるときは、もう少しだけ気を使ってやってくれ。確かに人を治療するのが私らの仕事だが、医者も人間には違いないからな。それじゃ、失礼するよ。
Thank you very much. With my head still bowed, I hear the doctor's retreating footsteps get quieter and quieter. Before long, the sound of the falling rain drowns out his footsteps entirely.
宗太郎、このままだと濡れます。一度中に入りましょう。あなたまで風邪をひいたら、誰が彼女の面倒を見るんですか？
Right, I'm sorry. I'm a little surprised, though. I didn't think there was anybody on this island other than us.
緊急ダイヤルがあるんです。もしもの時のために、管理人さんに預かっていて。
How come we've never seen this doctor before, then? Is there a village nearby?
そのあたり、私にはよくわかりません。
See? It's not so strange if you think about it. Of course, there could be smaller residential areas outside of the main resort. The island is immense. It wouldn't be out of the question to learn that the resort owner has a villa here. But there's always one more important. But there's something more important I should be thinking about right now. How did I let this happen? I knew Riho wasn't feeling well.
どうやらまだ全開してはいなかったようです。
It's my responsibility. Why didn't I notice it sooner?
今日のリホはいつもよりほんの少しだけ化粧が濃かったんです。
Sorry about skipping you there, Judy. What? So you're saying...
試験ですが、リホは体調が戻っていないことを悟られたくなかったんじゃないでしょうか。ファンデーション、気づきませんでしたか？いつもはほとんどしてません。する必要もなかったと思います。
Fuck! I'm sorry. Oh. When I think about it, she was already changed by the time I woke up. So she used makeup to conceal her actual complexion.
もしも、宗太郎に責任があるとしたら、リホの化粧に気づいていながら、彼女の真意を理解できなかった私にも責任がある。同罪ですね。
No, that's not true. You know that, right? I'm the person closest to her. I should have noticed, and I didn't.
そういう風に考え出したら、キリがないですよ。一人で責任をかぶっても、リホの体調が戻るわけじゃありません。それに、究極は、自己管理の問題ですから。
So, I'm Rio's boyfriend.
彼氏は医者と違います。宗太郎は、ただの学生です。
Doesn't matter!
宗太郎。リホが、寝ています。
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh man. How am I doing? Why am I acting like this? Just saying the same stuff over and over, trying to justify the choices I've made. For our sake, for Rio's sake, that's why I'm acting like this. I can say that all I like, but I couldn't help Rio before this all happened. You decide to start dating. Same as any other boyfriend or girlfriend. It was all talk. It all ended up being just a big game of house.
あまり思い詰めない方がいいですよ。一人の人間が持っている力なんて、 その程度のものなんですから。
I don't think you really believe that.
気に障りましたか？
Not a chance. I take a deep breath and try to regain my composure. Seems I'm not the only one making me out to be the bad guy here.
何のことです？
You chose your words very carefully. You went out of your way to downplay my culpability, didn't you?
言ってる意味がよくわかりません。
But I can understand your feelings,
う
Judy.
ぬぼれですよ。
Although I wish I could have understood Rio's feelings as well as I did yours just now.
宗太郎。
Hey, Judy. Why did Rio let things go this far? Why does she work so hard? I want to learn more about Rio, you know? More than anything. She vowed she'd try her hardest, but why exactly?
残念ですが、私は宗太郎の疑問に対する従前な答えを持ち合わせていません。まずは本人に聞いてみるべきだと考えます。
I thought so. Sorry for asking you such an odd question. I guess I need to figure this out on my
で
own.
も、その疑問を解くヒントなら、あるいは、
A hint.
はい。実は、
Fuck you, game.
あれ、私、
Collapsed while you were working, don't you remember?
そうか。そうなんですね。
You overdid it.
そんなつもりはなかったんです。
And just what were you trying to do?
もしかして、怒ってますの？
Right now? Yep, a little. But you weren't too badly injured, thank God. Everyone was really worried. Konami went white as a sheet.
すみません。
Well, the good thing is, you're better now. I just have one question for you. How could you possibly think it was a good idea to work when you were in such a bad state?
そこまで調子が悪いとは思っていなかったんです。
So that's why you woke early and you used makeup to hide how sick you were?
お仕事は大事なことですの。だから。
Is that really the reason?
でも、大事なことです。
I told you, didn't I? If you run yourself into the ground, you'll only ruin your chances of working in the future.
そうはならないと思ったんです。
The stars. Don't you want to see the shooting stars?
見ます。見たいです。そしてお願いを。
If you're sick in bed, that's out of the question.
違うんです。私はお仕事もちゃんと頑張って、流れ星にお願いもしたくて。両方とも、ちゃんとしたかったんです。
I understand how you feel, but there are certain priorities to consider here, you know?
なら、宗太郎さんはどうなんですか？
What do I think? About what exactly?
もし宗太郎さんが風邪をひいて、お仕事もしたくて、私との約束もあって。
I think someone's out there. Oh well.
そしたら宗太郎さんは、二つともちゃんとしたいって思いませんの？
That's... If I stopped working, then I'm finished. I'd have a hard time making ends meet. But I promise with Rio, it's just as important, so... In your position, I'd have done the same.
ほら。
But I already said as much, didn't I? I told you I can understand how you feel. But you and I... We're different, you know? I don't want to come right out and say it, but I'm working to survive. Rio is working for pocket money.
違いませんの。私だって、宗太郎さんだって、
You're
同
wrong.
じですの。違いませんの。
Pretty sure she could be the poster child for stubbornness. You won't get anywhere like this.
私、ちゃんとお仕事がしたいんです。だから、今日は働けます。働きたいんです。
Understand, but right now we're both arguing with emotion, from emotion, not reason. So let's hit the pause for a moment. The fact of the matter is you collapsed on the job. So you don't get to be stubborn, not on this matter. I can understand where you're coming from, you know?
でも私は
I won't allow you to act like a spoiled child. And even if I did, Nagisa certainly wouldn't.
そんな
So today, please behave like an adult.
でも
Why do you want to work so much? I don't get what she's thinking. Strong work ethic is a great thing. Heck, it's one of Ryo's strongest qualities. What exactly is Ryo? Well, I have a good idea. On the whole, she's a little odd. But simply, she's one eccentric Ojo-sama. And because she's an Ojo-sama, there's a certain sense of distance between her and the others. When you take her loose interpretation of love into the picture, the problem becomes even clearer. However, the biggest disconnect here would be her passion for working. Still, all these characteristics ultimately make Ryo who she is. Her strong points are also her weak points. They're two sides of the same coin. And either way, they're incredibly attractive. Yeah, but even so, this time she's gone too far. I can't let her off the hook.
私やっぱり仕事に
You'd probably say much the same, but you should also take other people's feelings into consideration. You know, the people who actually give a damn about you. I show no mercy. Reflected on her face, I could see the pain of my word. I could see the pain my words had caused.
私は
And as the one who said those words, my heart ached too. The doctor said you need to continue resting. You can't work right now.
どうしてもですの
There's no room for compromise. Of course there isn't. Then, I'll be leaving now.
そうやって自分だけはお仕事に行くんですね
Riho?
私何をごめんなさい
It's fine, I was a little too hard on you earlier. I'm just worn out. We both are.
私
Let's continue this discussion when I get back. Till then, your job is to rest up. Understood? Then, I'll be off. It's fucking
今日
cold.
は展望台の掃除でしたよね
People rarely go up there.
利用頻度の低い場所なのは確かですなので短期間での集中放火で包囲殲滅という流れになります悪を滅ぼすのはいつでも5人の合体技ですからサンゴちゃんそれ好きだよねリホネーも一緒だったら6人目のブラックも揃ったのにサンゴちゃんそれはごめんねソウタロウくん私はただみんなと一緒がいいなって意味で
I know. Everyone I've met on this island is a good person. They don't have a mean bone in their body. Also, I feel like... Is my beard like just... My beard is just kind of curving over here, and it's kind of annoying. Basically, like, curving around, like, the corner of my mouth and just tickling here, and it's fucking annoying. There we go. That's a bit better.
早く体調が戻るといいですね
Yeah. I'd love it if Ryo could get well as soon as possible. And she'd make every day fly by with her smile, just like she used to. Yeah, that'd be nice. But is physical recovery all that's needed here? Can I honestly say that'll solve all her problems? With rest, the cold will pass, that's a given. And on the surface, our relationship will steadily get better. But the problems that lurk beneath the surface, they'll eventually re-emerge. The next time Ryo collapses, it might not just be a cold.
先輩 元気出してくださいね。
I'm always cheerful. Only avoid... if only to avoid causing her more worry, I pat Kozaki's head.
先輩、急に子供扱いしないでください。
Oh, sorry. I keep petting her head as I say this.
先輩、なんか変わりましたね。
Have I?
なんか前より距離感が近いです。
Could be. Continue patting the top of her head.
確かにって自分のことですよ。海ね、いいな。ねえ、宗太郎くん、私にもして。サンゴちゃん、宗太郎さんはリホさんの彼氏で。
Everyone wants the head pats.
そうだけど、でも、頭だけだよ。当たり前だよ。
It's fine, Sangu. You can come get some too. I continue patting both of their heads.
私、お兄ちゃんが欲しかったんですよね。
I suddenly dread her out. I suddenly very much dread her route. And shall I grant your wish?
お兄ちゃん。
Yes, Sango. I enjoyed playing along with Sango's game more than I'd imagined.
何かそこはかとなく犯罪の香りが。私も感じました。猟奇的なものを。
What? I'm some sort of monster now? Hey now. I think that's just because you're always giving me suspicious looks.
もうサンゴちゃんはコナミちゃんもやってもらったら。どうして私が。だってコナミちゃんも昔お兄ちゃんが欲しいってマッキョで2人で盛り上がったよね。
Is that true?
言ってないよ。言ってたよ。それはきっとサンゴちゃんの別のお友達の話なんじゃないかな。何言ってるの。私がコナミちゃんと他の人を間違えるなんて太陽が西から昇るぐらいありえないよ。
Honest to God, the thing that would have killed me if she just like says, if she just went like, what are the friends? Anyways, Kwanami, would you like to join in?
そうです。そんなに恥ずかしがらなくてもいいのに。ねえ、お兄ちゃん。
Like Rio's gotta like get healthy again. Just come to the morning meeting. Just like Sago, just and Konami just show up. Though both of them call him Oni-chan, and then he was just like, "What? What the fuck? What did I miss?" That's right, Sango.
やっぱりこれは犯罪なんじゃ。ですよね。
What about you, Shiori?
立場というものがあるので仲間に入れてください。前後の文脈が破綻してます。
Pat, Pat. How is it?
悪くないです。これはどういう状況なんですか？
Changed your mind?
いけません。それに私の考えるお兄ちゃんはそんな感じじゃなくて、もっとこう温厚で王子様タイプで、今の宗太郎さんが醸し出してる雰囲気とは似ても似つかない感じで。
Oh, so Prince type.
優しいタイプが好きなんですね。その気持ちわかります。いえ、これはそうなんですよ。このみちゃんって昔から王子系が大好きで夢見がちなんですよね。夢見がち？夢があるからいいんだよ。 いうか、サンゴちゃんだってヒーローものばっかりじゃん。いいじゃん、ヒーロー。
Ah, fuck. I keep forgetting to like cut my sideburns. I keep forgetting to cut my sideburns so they keep annoying me.
私はイナゴ系男子とか嫌だよ。イナゴじゃないし。っていうか、あれは変身してるだけで、中の人は普通にイケてる面で。でも、その正体はイナゴ。だから逆だってば。っていうか、なみなみで言わないでよ。だって本当に嫌なんだもん。
I think I was too quick to judge Konami. She actually seems to have opinions of her own. That is rude. That's something of a relief. Watching their cute back and forth banter is a blast.
なんだか嬉しそうですね。
Judy seems to agree. I guess so.
新たな一面を発見した感じ。
That is exactly it. If only Rio were so easy to understand. Now, in the beginning, I'd assumed she'd be easy to understand. But right now...
先輩、なんだかちょっと。いえ、だいぶ変わりましたよね。
Have I?
はい。前より慣れ慣れしいっていうか、運をわきまえないっていうか。身の程を知らない。そうです、それです。
And I think you two have gotten a little crueler.
最初からこんな感じでしたよ。そうです。って、私攻撃的でしたか？
Damn right! Hold on, what? Perhaps it's true, I have changed a little.
リホさんのせいですか？
Is it? But, I can't rule that out. Once you get past the peculiar sense of distance that surrounds her, maybe she starts to rub off on you.
はあ、なんだか二人が羨ましいです。
Yes, I'm using this thing to scratch myself right now. Don't fucking talk to me. You do?
はい。特にリホさんがいつも自由で自分の気持ちに素直でずっと先輩のことを見ていて、そして先輩もリホさんのことをこんなにも心配してる。
You know, low-key confession from Umi here.
理想的だなーって思います。
See, so that's how you see me.
はい。でも私だったら変態な彼氏とかちょっと嫌かなって。
Oh, believe me, once we get to your route, you'll probably be into it. You've got a devilish look on your face right now. I think you might be developing a sense of humor.
ユーモアなんていたって本気ですよ、私。
Yeah, so that's how you see me, Kozaki.
さっきと同じようなセリフなのに、随分と印象が違いますね。
なんだか盛り上がっているわね。
Nagisa. Oh, I still love the soundtrack.
私が不在の間にいろいろとあったみたいだけど。
That exact moment, thunder booms in the distance.
ごめんなさいね。昨日は本部から呼び出しを食らってたから。
You were called away?
ええ。ここのオーナー様よ。
Ah. As a casual part-time, I'd always assumed Nagisa was the head honcho for some reason. After all, Nagisa seemed to be the only one supervising the resort. It must be hard work.
ほんと疲れちゃう。今日は確か展望台付近の一斉清掃だったと思ったけど、これは延期かしらね。
天気予報でも雨と。
That's so. I haven't watched TV once since I've been on this island.
私も見ません。ラジオでそう言ってました。テレビを見られない生活なんて。特に日朝は欠かせないよ。言うと思った。 なしの人生なんて考えられませんね。
I wouldn't like it that much either, but we're getting off topic.
そういうわけだから、今日はもう解散に。
I liked him just now. It sounded close.
怖かった。とうとう降ってきちゃいましたね。しばらくはここで足止めでしょうか。
そういうわけだから、適当に雨宿りしてから解散ね。
We drink tea and chat. Each person passes the time as they see fit. Then finally I see an opening. Hey Nuggs, I have a question about what happened earlier. Nuggs is standing all alone, so I call her over.
さっきの話？医療費なら無料よ。全部会社の保険で賄うから。
Doctor's visit too?
もちろん。
So full health benefits, huh? I'd like to find a job like that once I'm out in the working world.
よかったら採用試験受けてみる？
It's a bit too early for me, I think.
ヨタ話はこの辺にして。キツキさんのことよね。マキさんからそれとなく聞いてるわ。
Oh boy, I was so confused in Nagisa route because she just uses the family names while everyone else uses the normal name. So I just never knew, who the fuck does she mean by Yoake? Who the fuck is Kitsuki? Apparently people in the comments were just as confused. At this point I found out that Yoake is Yuhi and Kitsuki is, well, just look at the context of this. Kitsuki Riho Makishiuri. Well, this wasn't how I thought she'd find out about it. I'm grateful to Shiuri for the unintended push. Well, it won't be much. I should buy her a juice later. Then, since we're already on the same page, I'd like an answer. You must have a hint for me, right? Judy said you would.
あの子がね。だけど答えだなんて。世の中には答えの出ないことがこんなにも溢れ返っているのにね。
You know, that's how life works. I hear that what Nagisa is saying, I get where she's coming from. But still, I can't say her ambiguities sit all that well with me right now. Regardless, it's only human to want answers. So you put yourself to the brink all for the sake of work. I'm worried about what her motivation might be. Does she have some sort of special contract? If not, I can't imagine why she'd work herself like this.
翔太郎くんって週刊誌も読む？まあ、読まないわよね。
No, I wouldn't say I read them exactly, but how is that relevant to the conversation at hand?
ブラッシュの7号。確かまだ私の部屋にバックナンバーがあったと思うのよね。あなたも一度目を通しておくといいわ。きっと形式が広がるわよ。
That's... and, like, that is just, how is that an answer to my question?
さあ、ただ、少なくとも関東のグラビアよりは有意義な記事はあるかもしれない。それだけよ。
When you think about it in context, that's all. It seems like a bit of an understatement. There has to be some reason for her to suddenly mention a particular magazine in the middle of a relatively serious question. Then I guess I'll check out that article for now. I'm allowed to borrow the magazine, right?
好きにしてちょうだい。ただし、取り扱いには気をつけてね。グラビアを読み散らかすのはセクハラよ。
Understand? I'll get going then.
あ、ちょっと待って、宗太郎くん。
What is it?
目の前に大きな壁があって、先に進めないとします。さあ、あなたならどうする？
Doesn't that depend on how tall the wall is?
そうね。その姿は、天に向かってそびえ立ち、雲を突き破るほどに巨大だった。とか。
That's an impossible situation, isn't it?
そうよね。私もそう思うわ。
For some reason she looks down after she says that. She seems awfully anxious. That question you asked just now. What does it mean?
実は今のがうちの採用試験なの。ユニークかつ優れた発想の人材を期待して。そんなところが
So
狙い
that's
なの
what
か
it
しら。
was. In my case, my answer would have been the worst possible one.
そう？私ならユニークな発想を持った経理より堅実な経理を雇いたいわね。
Yeah, that makes sense too. I'll keep that in mind when it's time for me to go job hunting.
鵜呑みにするのはほどほどにね。ま、そんなタイプじゃないでしょうけど。
I guess it takes out a key and dangles it in front of me.
これ、貸してあげる。私の部屋の鍵。本を読み終わったら返してね。
Whoops, are you sure? I can just walk into your room.
あら、なら逆に聞くけど、本を読む以外に、私の部屋でしたいことがあるのかしら？過度な期待は失望のもと。でも、あなたの立ち居振る舞いは嫌いじゃない。
I've got your number. She might not have come right out and said it, but it was implied. Nothing embarrassing lying around. BAM! See the underwear! The shale gas bubble burst. New type of natural gas, shale gas, is now able to be harvested from deep beneath natural shale deposits. Moreover, the technology for extracting such gas has only been recently developed. The United States has invested heavily in the shale gas revolution, while the rest of the world has yet to buy into the hype. But with the start of the new year, a dark cloud hangs over the future of this new gold rush. Shale gas currently has a substantial price advantage over the liquefied natural gases, or LGNs. The shale gas industry's rise to prominence happened rather quickly, part of a large gamble by influential power players. But due to excessive competition in the mining sector, the price of shale gas has taken a tremendous hit. As a result, some of its early investors have been forced to declare bankruptcy. Several oil companies, eager to reap the benefits of the new gold rush, have also been driven to bankruptcy. These corporate casualties of the shale gas price collapse have been limited to the United States. Stock companies with a hand in domestic energy production also fell sharply. Most importantly, KTK, stock symbol of the now defunct Kitsuki Group, once the 7th largest energy producer, took a massive hit. Because it was unable to pay expected returns to investors, the group was driven into virtual bankruptcy. Now defunct Kitsuki Group by Kitsuki. Surely they don't mean.
雨、やみませんね。雷も。私たちの制服だとおへそ取られそうですね。
That's for sure.
どこを見てるんですか？
I'm not looking at anything.
っていうか、その格好。雨がっぱなんか着て、どこへ行くつもりですか？
I'm heading back to the cottages.
え？でも、外は嵐ですよ。もう少し待ってからの方が。そういうフラグ立てはあまりおすすめできません。そうだよ。宗太郎くんが黒焦げになったり、頭もじゃもじゃになったらやだよ。
Just looks over at her. A new style change was to do anyways. I know, but I've got to go.
先輩!
Oh! I was blasted by slanted rain as soon as I left shelter. This is a storm with a capital S. If I were thinking about it this rationally, I'd take everyone's advice and wait until the rain dies down. That would be the smart choice. My current approach, on the other hand, isn't very smart at all. But I couldn't sit still after reading that article. Couldn't help worrying. Riho! Riho? I don't see any sign of her. Riho, are you okay? Riho? Check the bath and restroom, just to be sure, but both seem uninhabited. Her shoes are nowhere to be found. Oh no, she's on the observation platform, isn't she? How could she have gone on a day like this? Don't tell me. Riho! Riho! Riho, where are you? This is bad. I won't get anywhere if I just run out and recklessly start looking for her. Think. Riho, what would I do? Think. It's not really possible to think like Riho. Instead, I should try to predict her actions based on everything I've learned about her so far. I have to stay calm. That's what she'd do. Focus, try to imagine it. Riho was a very diligent worker. Even when she was sick as a horse, her will to work never flagged. In that case, that's right. There! In the middle of the mountain path, part way to the observation deck, I see someone collapsed in a heap. Riho? That uniform belongs to... Riho! I run up to her, panicked.
大丈夫です。
Fuck.
ちょっと転ん宗太郎さんだだけですから。大丈夫です。ちょっと転んだだけですから。でも、横になったら、なんだか気持ちが良くて。
Hold on. Sound effects. Just like fucking half it or something. That wasn't half.
そのまま少し休んでいただけで。
Riho?
私なら大丈夫ですわ。だから、そんな顔しないでください。
Just how far are you willing to push this, Riho?
本当に大丈夫ですの。それに私、やっぱりちゃんと働きたいんです。
Before you do that, there's something else you need to do.
でも、そうしないとお給料をもらえませんから。だから宗太郎さん、私のこと展望台まで連れて行ってもらえませんか。
Let's go, just tell her, like, work has been cancelled by Nagisa for the day. Work! But you still won't be paid.
そこからは自分で頑張りますから。
Even though she doesn't even have enough strength to walk, she's still thinking only of work. I want to scold her 7 days ways from Sunday, but work has been postponed for today, which means there's nothing to do at the observation deck.
そうなんですか。なら、お仕事のお給料は。
Even in a situation like this, she's worried about money. I don't know, but according to Shiori, we should get paid regardless.
よかった。
Anyway, let's go back. We can't stay
わ
here.
かりましたの。でも、足に力が入らなくて。
Understand? That's the only problem, then the solution is easy. Watch your hands, buddy. Watch your hands. If I carry on my arms, then we should be able to make it back with ease. Come to think of it, you might be more comfortable if you held onto my back. Huh?
ダメですわ。
But if you keep going like this,
私はこのままがいいんです。宗太郎さんのお顔も見えますし。だから、このままじゃいけませんの。
she gives me that look. Okay.
お姫様、抱っこ。なんでもありませんの。
I see. I heard her, of course. But I'm sure she'd prefer to be carried like an heiress, not some fairy-tale princess whose knight has been... Not some fairy-tale princess whose knight has been dragged on his feet. I hate this! Ah! Come on. This is no time for bad jokes. Besides, given what I just learned about her, my saying anything about heiresses might be a little, but that's not right. Or rather, it can't be right. It can't be right.
ちょっと疲れてしまいました。
You can sleep if you'd like.
でも、寝ている人間は死人と同じぐらい重くなるって聞いたことがありますの。
Says something a princess would say while she's being carried.
やっぱり聞こえていましたのね。
Yeah. Whoops.
このままじゃ重いですよね。やっぱり私も歩きます。
Don't worry about it, this is just weight training.
それ、お姫様抱っこしてる時に言う言葉じゃ。
Definitely not.
宗太郎さんって変わってますよね。
Have I? If so, it's hard for me to see it.
そう感じるのは
I don't think so.
何ですのその顔。
It's nothing. I think it's time for an Ojozama like her to have somewhat... I think it's fine for an Ojozama like her to have somewhat peculiar values. But right now, I think I understand a little of what she's thinking. Pretty sure that right now, you and I are in similar straits. We both need money. Or rather, she needs money even more than I do. And in far greater amounts. That's why she's been working herself to the point of ruin. Strong work ethic is invaluable, but her current approach, despite her urgent need, is misguided. Here, to tell you the truth, earlier I... She's fallen asleep. But what's the deal with her? As I cradle the soaked Ojosam in my arms, I look up to the heavens. Just how do I get past the immense wall in front of me right now? Just how do I protect this girl? Ryu's body grows heavier by the minute. If I let go of her hand, she'll certainly fall into a dark abyss. But a nobody like myself has no way of supporting a girl with burdens as heavy as hers. So what's the right thing to do? What should I do? I don't know. Is there really nothing I can do? Yen Dance has eluded me.
おや、
あら、どうしたの？雨の中、しかもこんな時間に戻ってくるなんて。
Sorry, we were a little delayed in getting back.
それはいいけど、ずいぶんひどい顔してるわ。
You must be imagining things.
そんなことないと思うけど。
In that case, it's partly your fault.
何かあったのかい？
ごめんなさい。少し席を外してもらえないかしら。
寂しいね。コーヒーでも入れようか？
Nagisa declines silently. Saying that, Wataru shrugs his shoulders and gets up from his
ご
seat.
ゆっくり。
Once he leaves, Nagisa lets out a heavy sigh.
恨んでくれても構わないわよ。
Hate you? For what? When I read that article, it felt like I'd been hit with a ton of bricks. Or rather, as if I'd been struck by lightning. You know, like the symbolic lightning strike that hit at the exact moment. Suddenly looks in the mirror. Oh my god, I look like fucking Ichiban. It was that shocking. In the end, I was only getting a dose of reality. That's not Nagisa's fault. You've given me an important hint. Thank you.
答えは見つかった？
Didn't you expect I would?
そうね。
For just a moment, a shadow of resignation and despair crosses her face. With that out of the way, I'd like to have a discussion.
聞きましょうか。
First,
「おはようございますお父様」
good morning. That's what he'd say, right?
ごめんなさい
Had in mind I'm used to Kozaki doing something very similar.
海さんも寝言を言いますのね
Every single morning.
そうですか
How are you feeling?
もう大丈夫ですの
I can't quite take your word on that, you know. That reminds me, Shiri had brought over some breakfast for you earlier this morning. If you're even the slightest bit hungry, you should eat.
はいごめんなさいやっぱりまだ食欲が
You should have said so from the start.
ごめんなさいところで宗太郎さんはお仕事に行かないんですか
Today's a day off, so please take your time and rest. I'll be here with you the entire time, of course.
それはどういう
Resting is also part of your job, you know.
私の看病のためそういうことですの
Better to think of me as a guard keeping an eye on a keeping an eye on a particularly unruly Ojo-sama.
暴走だなんて。
Don't you remember?
怒ってますの？
No?
どのぐらい怒っていますの？
I'm not bad.
数値で言うなら
0%.
本当に
Seriously not mad. At least not in the moment.
信じられませんの。
The one who shouldn't be believing, who shouldn't be believed here is Yuriho. You went out in that storm, even though you could barely walk.
それは
Well, just try to eat something for now. Yuri will stop by soon to pick up the dirty dishes. Let's talk after that. So, why were you so stubborn?
ですから、それはお仕事が大切だからで。
If I lied to you, Riho, wouldn't you feel like I'd betrayed you?
別に。
Even if I had another girlfriend on the side, Riho?
そんな人が他に？
No, I don't. There's no one but you, Riho.
宗太郎さんひどいです。嘘だとしても、どうしてそんなこと？
That's right. Even if it's an obvious lie, it's not something you'd want to hear. But I was a little worried. I wasn't sure what to do if you'd been okay with it. Go ahead and give me that look, Riho. I don't mind. It's your boyfriend that makes me kind of happy.
そんなこと言っても、嘘ついたことは許せません。
So in this case, it doesn't matter whether the lie is true or not. Since the end result is the same, it's still a betrayal.
そんな言い訳ダメです。
Did it really shock you that much?
はい。
And I apologize. I'm really sorry. I'll never tell you a lie like that again.
本当ですの？
I promise. If you promise me the same.
どんな約束ですの？
Well, we are human after all. It's not necessarily a good thing for a couple to know every little thing about each other. But right now, I'm not interested in polite promises and platitudes. I want to learn more about you, Riho. I want to talk to you heart to heart. Or specifically, I want you to tell me the reason why you're so obsessed with work.
私は、その。
Can you promise me that?
その約束、もう少しだけ待ってくれませんか？
How long is a little longer?
宗太郎さんがこの島でのお仕事を終えるまでです。
I see. She doesn't want to tell me now, but it's not like she plans on hiding forever either. So it's that sort of
ダ
lie.
メですか？
No, it's fine. I wasn't able to make much progress as much progress as I'd wanted, but at least we came to a compromise. Given recent events, I think we can call that a win.
よかった。
Hideo sighs, relieved.
私このまま宗太郎さんに捨てられてしまうのかと。
No. Why would you even think that?
だってこんな怖い宗太郎さんを見たの初めてだから。
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
嫌われてしまったのかと思って。
Like I said, I'm not mad at you, and I definitely don't hate you either.
だったら私とエッチしてくれますか？
What? That's a good question. Wait, what?
エッチしてください。
Hmm?
だからエッチしてほしいですの。
Why would you want that?
だって私のこと嫌いじゃないならできるはずですわ。
You passed out the day before! The natural response is no! I don't really know if this is a good idea. It is Rio we're talking about after all. I don't think you've recovered enough yet for that sort of thing.
もしかして疲れてますか？そうですよね。昨日はあんなところから私のことを運んでくれて疲れていないわけがありません。でもご安心ください、宗太郎さんは。そこに寝ていてくれればそれで大丈夫ですから。
No, this has nothing to do with my physical condition.
なら私に飽きたってことですの？
How could I possibly get bored of her? Think it through for a second. We haven't even been going out for that long yet.
でも、秋っぽい男の人は、一度抱いた女の人とはしないって。
So casual hookup, huh? But we're not in that type of relationship. We've talked about it, remember? We're officially going out, boyfriend and girlfriend.
それは、そうですけど。
This isn't going well. Well, it's not necessarily a bad thing to see Rio so troubled. There are all sorts of reasons why I can't give in to her demands. Anyway, it's a no for today.
でも、一回だけなら。
No matter how many times you ask me, no means no. Man, one step forward, two steps back. Just tell her, hey, remember yesterday when you passed out on your way to the observation deck and I had to lug your sleeping body back to the cottages? That's not usually something that you follow up with sex the very next fucking day. Anyway, I didn't expect it to go quite this overboard. I wouldn't have imagined that Rio, the social butterfly, could be this dependent on me. Sure, to get Rio to admit to her full true feelings, I might have joked around having another girlfriend. But to be honest, I didn't expect her to be so vocal in her opposition to it. I thought people with lots of friends typically didn't get close to any specific one. That's what I assumed, at least. But the truth is...
宗太郎さんは、意地悪ですの。
The truth is quite different. When I think about how much she needs me, of course I'm happy. Rio's unexpected attachment is a pleasant bit of serendipity. Ah! Motherfucker. Yet, I'm still uneasy. Somewhere in my chest, deep down, something still gnaws at me. But why? Why is this current state of affairs making me feel so uncomfortable, or rather so uneasy? Even though I have a beautiful girl like Rio at my side, fawning over me. There's still something wrong. I've overlooked something important. I don't think so. Whatever it is, I've already seen it. For that, there should be no doubt. But merely having seen it isn't enough. I have to connect the dots. Should I try to confirm that what I've learned is correct? Or should I just lay my cards out on the table right now? It could be that I'm still missing some vital piece of information. But we're nearing the decisive moment. I've made it this far. There's no choice but to brace for impact. Anyways, rest for the day.
でも、
I'll be here taking care of you the whole time.
それって見ているというよりも、見張りなのでは。
That's basically true, but your actions have consequences. When will you learn?!
ごめんなさいです。
I ruined the moment.
あれ
Are you feeling, Sleeping Beauty? Hearing some noise behind me, I turned from my saucepan.
私、いつの間にか寝て。
You have the cutest expression when you're sleeping.
そのまま襲ってくださっても構いませんのに。
By God, she's thirsty right now. We'll leave that for when you're feeling better.
楽しみにしていますわ。
Rio seems to be the adventurous type. Well, to be honest, I kinda lean that way myself.
寝ているだけで、一日が終わってしまいましたの。
That's okay, isn't it? It's a perfectly fine way to spend a day
果
off.
たしてそうでしょうか。
We're quite sure.
それ、私の真似のつもりですか？
Not particularly.
それだとおかまさんっぽいです。
Oh, we're so dreadfully sorry for having offended.
違いますよ。それだとあんまり可愛くありません。
It does sound odd, doesn't
お
it?
かしいのは宗太郎さんです。もう、ところで、何をしているんですの？
Oh, I'm making dinner. In fact, I think the food should be at just the right level of tenderness.
お夕飯ですか。
You're embracing me from behind. Naturally, I feel her cannons pressed into my back. Yeah, definitely the right level of tenderness, as always. Now that I think about it, I haven't really gotten to play with him in a while.
宗太郎さんってお料理できますのね。
In matter of speaking, nothing too fancy. I pretend to play it cool, but Rio's breasts are filling my thoughts. Cleanse me of my worldly desires, cleanse me of my worldly desires.
それはお経ですの？
Something like that.
見た目によらず信心深いのですね。
Does it? And now I'm being corrupted by worldly desire. If this keeps up, I might just commit all 7 deadly sins at once. It's freshly made, so it's gonna be hard. Best to let it cool for a bit.
はーい。お鍋の中身は何ですの？
Ojia. Rice and egg porridge.
おじいやん？
Have you had it before? That's surprising, given that you're an Odo-sama. I guess the best comparison would be risotto.
ああ。
Even an Odo-sama would have had Ojia at least once, right? Well, she's the daughter of a business magnate. I guess that's not that surprising.
でもどうしてわざわざこんなところで？
We have access to a luxurious chef here at the resort, so it makes sense for Rio to ask. But I have my reasons. I had to make sure you stayed in bed all day. If Wataru had made the dish, I'm sure it would have been amazing. But it would have cooled by the time it got to you. Though I thought it'd taste better if it were freshly made. You're still recovering, so you might not be all that hungry yet. Figured if I made it here, the smell might whet your appetite. If it's freshly made, it'll still be hot by the time you eat it. That way you can warm your body from the inside.
準備大変だったんじゃ。
Well, I got lucky, so there was already a barbecue set and a portable gas burner here. So I figured I'd give it a shot. As for the ingredients, I had to ask Wataru for those. Taking a look at the pantry, I say we have some lovely leeks we can give you.
まあ。
Rio clasps her hands together expectantly. Is that surprise I see on her face? Delight? When you have a cold, there's nothing better than fresh leeks. That's why I made sure to put plenty in there. Also put one up your ass. Wait, what?
どうしてそんなに？
Why? Because I want you to recover as quickly as possible.
私のためにそんな。
You don't have to thank me. I did all this for my girlfriend, Riho. It's what any boyfriend would do, right?
あれ？やだ。
Panic? She suddenly fell silent. What's wrong?
どうしよう。
What do you mean?
だって。
Your face is all flushed. Is your fever flaring up again?
そうかもしれませんね。きっとそうに違いありませんわ。
Okay. Let's see. I think the thermometer is around here somewhere.
全力で測りますの。
How would doing your best change anything about your temperature? No, you should be taking it easy. Just settle down.
はい。なんだかすごく暑いですね。
So the fever's back? Or is the room just really hot? Huh. Well, it won't do your throat any favors. Let's turn on the AC for a little bit.
そうしていただけると助かりますわ。
Oh, yeah. Seems to be oddly tense. Is it a sign that she's going off the rails again? That wouldn't be good. She's genuinely just embarrassed. His eyes light up as I've set the finished Ojia down in front of her.
これがおじやですのね。いい香り。それに全体が金色に輝いていますわ。
It's just the color of the egg yolk.
もうどうしてそういうことをおっしゃいますの？
Because it is what it is. Plain old Ojia.
違います。立派な卵とじおじやです。
The subtleties are lost on me.
では違いがわかる男性になってください。
I understand it even less. And the one who made it, trust me, it's nothing special.
ではご自分の才能に気づいていないのですね。
Are you angry with me?
怒っていませんの。
No. Something's going on then. Then, from Rio's general direction, stomach growl. Sounds like your appetite is back. Riho nodded enthusiastically. My arm hurts, I don't know why. And let's dig in. I'm pretty hungry myself.
そうですわね。まったく、お腹の虫をあんなに鳴らして、そんなに空腹でしたのね。
No, that growl came from your...
そこは殿方が、今のは俺の腹の音さっていうところですの。
No, anyway, that there was no need to stress out about it. We're alone after all.
もっと新自然としてください。
Nah, I'll work on it. Does Rio's personality seem different somehow? Maybe she hit her head when she fell on the mountain path? Could this be the result? May want to see a doctor about her head, just to be safe. There is one on the silence, there is no reason not to. You should ask Nagisa when we get a chance. Now, what's wrong? You're fidgeting.
食べないんですの？
Oh, sorry, I was thinking about something. Just go ahead and start eating without me.
そんなことできるわけがありませんわ。
Why not?
作った方を差し置いてそれは、なんだかはしたないような気がして。
You can just dig in. That's the Sotra rule.
そうですの？
Yeah.
でも。
We really need to ban the word butt from your vocabulary. For now, hurry up and eat. You need to get better.
さっさとなんてそんな言い方。今まではもっと優しかったのに。
I'm still getting used to it, that's all.
宗太郎さん、やっぱり私のことがお嫌いに。
This again? Okay, desperate times call for desperate measures. Fine, sure, I ate your guts. Now open your mouth. Say ah.
はい。
I've blown the spoonful of oji a few times to cool it down. Then bring it up to Riho's mouth. How is it?
とっても甘いですの。
Sweet? Oh, did I mistake sugar for salt?
そういうことではなくて。
So what do you mean then?
甘みというか、旨味成分がですね。
Ah, you used lots of kambu when making the dashi stock, so it should be really flavorful.
はい、そのお出汁をしっかり全身で感じましたの。
Not just your tongue.
はい、全身です。やっぱり舌でしたの。
Are you starting to feel feverish again?
大丈夫ですの。
Adorable. Does she really?
それよりも次のを早く。
Okay, one more time, open wide. I'm really itchy behind my ear for some fucking reason. It's fucking annoying me. Ria really does seem to be enjoying it. Feeling like this makes you that happy, I guess we should do it again in the future.
本当ですの？
Sure, I'm not quite sure what to make next time, though.
久しぶりにフグ刺しが食べたくて。
No! Poisonous blowfish? Is absolutely not. That's ridiculously hard to prepare. Finally, after much effort, Rio managed to finish all her ojiya.
もう食べられません。
Me either. Pot's completely empty.
立派なシェフになれますわ。
Yeah, it's just porridge.
でも本当に美味しかったから。
Yeah, well, if you're happy, I'm happy.
ではお腹もいっぱいになったことですし。
Time to fill another part. Rio gets to her feet. We're not doing any fooling around today, remember?
そうではありませんの。本当にしませんの？
Like I said, not today. Even though I want to.
残念です。それはそれとして、今からお出かけしましょ
Going outside, even though you're on strict bed rest.
う。もう十分に休みましたの。
Now look here.
星を、流れ星を見に行かないと。昨日は見に行けなかったから。本当なら、昨日が一番でしたのに。
Between the weather and Rio's accident, she'd missed out on the Perseid's peak yesterday. If we'd managed to catch a glimpse of even a single shooting star, we'd have achieved our goal.
でも、今日ならまだ、流れ星もたくさん。
That might not be as easy as you think. The weather's still bad today, so could you wait a bit longer to see the stars?
そんな。
Fuck. Hold on. I'll be right back. Alright, it's a bit better now. You know how it feels to want to go out stargazing. When I was a kid, I was desperate to see stars every chance I could get. But, worst case scenario, there's always next year. You can catch the peak then, so you don't have to be so down.
来年。でも、それだと。いえ。
Well, we still have plenty of time. We're both still young, right?
そうですね。
Had a streak of fantastic weather until now. What can I say? Our luck has clearly turned. Don't be depressed. Also, I have the bad feeling that, we need to restore our family's name. Fucking marry the daughter off or something. It's gonna happen.
お
Morning.
はようございます。今日からはお仕事に。
No, you're not.
でももう私は。
No means no.
どうしてです？理不尽ですの。
Let's follow the doctor's orders on this one.
この島に来たのは、お仕事をするためですの。こんなところで寝ていても。
Because you won't make money that way.
そうです。
Is money really that important to you?
それを、労働の確かな証明として、対価はとても重要な指標で。
You're right, money is important. If you don't keep earning it, then you won't be able to afford university. But you're not allowed to work at Riho.
どうして？
Because you don't need to work. Unless, of course, you're in a situation similar to mine and you have to work to survive.
それは。
Am I wrong? Yes, you are. The truth is, I'm actually not an Ojo-sama. And having said all that, she'll take off her mask not long after. What? And having said that, she'll take off her mask at long last. I said what I did to provoke a response. But
確かに、そうですけど。
I see. Got a bad feeling. But it's not because of Riho. Even though I know the truth, I'm forcing her into arguments. But if I simply shove the truth in her face, would that really do her any good? I don't know what it would. I don't know that it would. If it would. I wanted you to mention her, maintain her dignity, if only for a little longer. I'll go along with Rio's lie for now. And there's no problem.
でも、宗太郎さんは。
I'm taking today off too. I've already cleared it with Nagisa.
だけど、それだと、宗太郎さんのお給料まで減ってしまいませんか？
While I prefer to get paid, I can't really leave you like
いけ
this.
ませんよ。そういうのはダメですよ。
Please. It's the very least I can do for my adorable girlfriend.
私は、宗太郎さんの生活をめちゃくちゃにしたくないんです。
That was loud.
私、
That's better. Much more human.
宗太郎さん。
It's not like I'll be penniless if I miss out on a day's pay. I've already calculated exactly how much I need.
だけど
Don't worry about it! Ever since I was young, I've taken pride in my budgeting skills. Besides, it's my decision to make.
なら今日も私は宗太郎さんと二人っきりでこの部屋にということはおのずとすることは一つに
No, today we're going outside to play.
体を休めるんじゃ
There's been a change of there's been a change of plans. Do a thorough job putting on that sunscreen.
これって
A fishing pole. I borrowed all the gear from Wataru.
つまり私たちは働かないので自給自足ということに
I'm optimistic we'll make much progress today. Self-sufficiency is now goal. Today, we're simply going fishing.
私釣りなんてしたことありませんわ
I figured. Well, it's not like I've fished much either.
無理です
Don't give up before we've even tried.
ミミズを餌にするとか絶対に無理です餌をつまむ時点でギブアップですはあ軽く貧血に
She hasn't seen a single worm, yet she's already all worked up. We won't be impaling any worms today, so there's nothing to worry about. Using different types of worms as bait is fishing 101. But having considered how Rio might feel about that, I came up with a plan B. We'll use small prods in this basket as bait. Already tied strings around them earlier. All we have to do is throw them out into the water, then watch for any tugs on the line.
それだけで釣れますの
We should. We'll scatter some bait from the basket to lure the fish in. Then, when the fish gets hooked, we'll reel it in. By the way, this method of fishing is called sabiki fishing. Not that you need to remember that or anything.
なるほど要するに騙し討ちをするわけですね
Most forms of fishing usually involve some sort of ambush.
そうやって宗太郎さんもたくさんの女の人を
I don't sprinkle as much bait though.
フェロモン的な何かで
What? Are you saying I smell?
いえいえ
Come on, didn't I tell you I was kidding about those other girlfriends?
冗談ですちょっとだけ意地悪を言いたくなったんです
Rio sticks her tongue out at me. Ojo-sama, you're being rather uncouth right now.
ダメですか
Not exactly. It's only natural to do that sort of thing, isn't it? But Rio's outsized body language has more than enough destructive power as it is. Even more amazingly, she does it all without needing to. And there might be plenty more where that came from. If Rio were actually aware of what she was doing right now, it'd be no different than me and my supposed bait. As long as it's cute, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, here's your fishing rod. Oh, and I should warn you. It's a little heavier than a pair of chopsticks.
いくらなんでもバカにしすぎですそんな古典的な子は実在しませんの
Good then. I didn't mean to imply that, but it's here after all. Best to cover my bases. Anyways, it's going well so far. I have no cause to complain. Whoops. Here. I'm still extra cautious as I hand the fishing rod over to Riho.
ほらほらやっぱり大丈夫でした
I think most people could. Looks like she isn't just bluffing at least.
でも本当に釣り竿って思ってたよりも軽いんですね
That's because your rod is expensive. Take a look at mine.
本当に重さが違う
While my rod might be made of cheaper materials, it's also longer than yours.
竿の長さが
Hey now.
私まだ何も言ってませんの
Even if she didn't intend to, the Ojo-sama seems to be capable of sexual harassment too. It's a really good thing Riho was born a girl though. Had she been born a man, well, let's not go there. The thought is too impossible and frightening to even contemplate. That reminds me of a picture somebody posted recently on social media where it was like lewd Kingdom Hearts fan art, and they thought it was Aqua and Axel. However, Aqua had shorter hair and less messy. And the only other character that even just remotely looked like her that came to mind immediately made me regret. I think that fan art was Axel and gender bent Sykes, and I hate the fucking thought of that. I hate it. The person posting it hated it as well. Now then, you said you'd never done this before. How exactly are you catching so many fish? The cooler I brought is already overflowing with the day's catches. With the day's catch, at first glance, they all seem to be tropical fish. Their scales shimmer with every color of the rainbow.
と腹ペコでしたのね。
I haven't exactly been stingy with my bait either.
あら。
Earlier, she joked about me using pheromones for bait. Could fish have been drawn to the Rio for similar reasons? That's impossible. Is it? Isn't it? So, how do you like fishing so far? What are your first impressions?
感想。針に魚がかかった感触が指に伝わってきて、その直後にわーって例えるなら全身の毛穴が一斉に開くような感覚があって、あの瞬間がたまらなく気持ちよかったです。
I see.
何かおかしかったです？
Nope. It just seemed like a very Riho-esque thing to say. While Riho doesn't have a very athletic physique, perhaps she's built like a hunter where it counts. But I know what you mean when you say it feels good to get a bite.
ですよね。
Totally. I was a little hesitant at first. I'm glad I decided to invite her out fishing. Okay, I think we're about done. It won't do us much good to keep fishing at this point. So, shall we move to the next phase?
次ですか？
Read what you catch, isn't that obvious?
何せ新鮮だからね。ひとまずはお刺身とフライにしてみたよ。
I really want some sashimi right now.
わあ、すごー！
When she sees the heaping plate of fish, Yui can barely contain her admiration.
本当にこれ全部リホさんが釣ったの？いえ、私と宗太郎さんで。
Well, Ryo caught like 90% of them.
調理場にはもっとあるよ。仕事中のみんなの分も賄えるぐらい。
すごいね。でもモブはたったの1割か。でもまあモブならそんなもんかもな。一回も脚光を浴びることなく消えるよりはいいよね。いやー、マジであんたいい脇役だよ。渋いね。青魚の鈍い銀色よりも渋い。でも野球なら1割じゃあ戦力外通告だな。
That's not my batting average.
っていうかもう今度からは全部リホさんが釣ればいいんじゃないかな。今日はたまたまですよ。ビギナーズラックと言いますか。
Our goal wasn't to catch as many fish as possible. It was to have fun doing it.
言い訳オツだね。
Okay, so that was definitely an excuse. But still, I felt like I should clarify the situation. Fine, I concede defeat. It's not like I have much of a counter argument.
本当か。よし、わかった。よ、この三国一の極つぶし。
World class wanker! You really have a talent for annoying people. I think I'd like to study under you.
そうだろそうだろ。私も見習った方がいいでしょうか。
It's too dangerous. I'd steer clear.
そうそう、教育に悪いからねってなぜに。
Thanks for going along with the joke.
いえいえ、どういたしまして。
ねえ、食べないの？
Like Vatos is just over there with a full-on plate of sashimi just... No one gonna eat these? Oh.
いただきます。
Thanks for the meal! As if it had been planned in advance, everyone's chopsticks descend towards the plate of sashimi at the same exact moment.
おいしい。
Tastes so much fresher than when you get. It tastes so much fresher when you catch it yourself. This doesn't even need wasabi.
白米が進みそうだ。あ、ご飯おかわりいただけますか？
Oh, sus.
孫子の兵法にもあるだろう。兵は拙速を尊ぶものさ。
Actually, I think the full quote is, though we have heard of stupid haste in war, cleverness has never been seen associated with long delays. It doesn't say it's okay to be stupid as long as you're quick. It doesn't say it's okay to be stupid as long as you're quick about it. It simply says that you shouldn't take a roundabout route and risk delay. Instead, you should strike swiftly to achieve your goals.
だと。
And besides, this isn't a war.
テーブルの上は戦争なんだよ。それに結局早い方がいいってことだろ。つまり僕は正しい。よいさん大勝利。
でもご飯はよく噛んで食べようね、ゆうひさん。消化に悪いから。
はい、そうします。
Yuhi, you only listen when Wataru tells you to do something.
失敬だな君は。お姉様の言うことも聞くぞ。
But whenever Nagisa's around, you start doing all sorts of unseemly things.
見苦しいとか言うな。っていうか最近のモブちょっと遠慮なさすぎじゃないか。
Sorry, Yuhi, I'm trying to take it easy these days.
哀れむような目で僕のことを見るな。生類憐れみの霊？僕は犬じゃない。
Well, that was kind of random, huh? The whole throwing a bone thing must have gotten her thinking about dogs. I believe she just did it just to cause trouble. That's a good thing, Yuhi.
嬉しくない。それよりもショックだよ。まさかリホさんまで僕のことをそんな風に見ていたなんて。すみません。深い意味はなくて、なんとなく思った言葉が口をついただけで。本当に？本当ですわ。
But I can kind of see how Yui is like a dog. Specifically, the small yapping kind.
キャンキャン吠えてうるさいよねって。おいモブ、ちょっと表に出ようか。
食事中だよ、ゆうひさん。
そうですね。失礼しました。
Wataru is practically an animal tamer.
あんたまた失礼なこと考えてたでしょ。
Yui gives me an accusing look.
覚えてろよ。この借りは後で必ず倍返しにするからな。
Tastes even better fried. It's still hot, so the flavor spreads through your whole body.
ちょっと。
タルタルソースも作ったんだ。冷たいからかえってよく合うと思う。
私それ大好きですの。あのさ。
Do you have any tartar sauce on
も
hand?
ちろんさ。
この卵のふわふわ感、とっても幸せですの。君たち。
Don't be mad.
ゆうひさんは人を笑顔にする天才ですの。
He says this with all sincerity.
そういやー、そんな天才だなんて。
Yuri's mood shoots up like one of those free-fall rides at the amusement park.
そりゃ確かに僕は近所でも有名な神道だったけどさ、本当のことでも真正面から言われるとさすがにちょっと照れちゃうよ。あ、このフライ本当に美味しいね。これならいくらでも食べられるよ。うん。
Anyway, she seems genuinely happy.
なんだか褒められてばかりじゃ悪いから。そうだ、このフライ食べる？
Do you normally offer your friends your half-eaten food?
え？あ、 ほんとだ。まあまあ、細かいことは気にするなよ。ね、リホさん。リホさん？
これを食べると私と夕日さんで間接キスになりますの。
いや、違うよ。そういう意図じゃないよ。そもそも僕はお姉様一筋だから。
What? Why does it keep like going to this weird font?
これって浮気になるんでしょうか？
I don't mind, but what would Nagisa think?
やっぱそれ返して。
いただきます。
Well, to be honest, I don't think Nagisa would mind one bit. But I'll keep that to myself for now. That's far too entertaining. More than that.
僕はなんてことを。
It'll be a pleasant memory of my life on this island. Rio's fishing, Awatara's cooking, and of course Yui's boisterousness. Wait, do you want me to eat my fish too?
急になんだよ。
It's my way of saying thanks. As I say this, I hold my half-eaten fish out in front of Yuhi.
まさかモブまで僕と間接キスしたいのか。
No way, now open wide, I'll even feed it to you.
宗太郎さんエッチですの。
You know you want it, don't hold back.
ゆうひくんが来るといつも片付かないんだよね。
Sorry, Wataru. And thank you, Yuhi. Night. I got settled in a little bit earlier than Riho.
宗太郎さん、今日こそは。
Riho draws near. Ugh.
明らかな狸寝入り。
I'm a pretty bad actor if I do say so myself.
意地悪しないでください。私もうこれ以上のお預けは苦しいですの。
It hurts. You're not the only one in pain, Riho.
やっぱり起きていましたの。
So, wanna do it?
はい。
How?
それは宗太郎さんのお好きなように。
Thank God the pen was there. Now I don't have the censor. That is quite an expression on the phrase, though. Anyway, see you after the sex scene. It paused and I unpaused immediately. Fuck. There we go. The sex scene is done. And one of the lines in this stupid ass thing. By God, what the fuck? First off, this is going to be epic, like along those lines, as something he said. And then another one is like, you can't just let the fish hop off the board when I can't just let the fish hop off the board when I'm only halfway done filleting it. And by God, what the fuck? An unstable pile of wooden blocks. A Tower of Babel themed Jenga game.
そうと。
With each turn, another block of wood is pulled free.
揺れ。
Safe. Next, it's Chiori's turn.
じゃあここ。
Oh, she's going there. First glance, it seems a somewhat tricky pick, but
やっぱりここが良かったんですね。
making deft use of her delicate fingers, Yuri removes the block with ease.
しおりね、なんてえげつないところから抜くんですか。
The tower, having just dodged the god's wrath once more, grows even taller as she places her block atop it.
次はリホの番。
はい。
Rio's pale white fingers stretch out towards the shaky structure.
そーっとそーっと。
And then... she looks dead inside. Looks like it happened again. Tower of Babel collapses, smote not by God's wrath, but Riho's trembling fingers.
またリホ姉の負け。いやー、どうしていつも私ですの？
No, I lost earlier too.
でも、やはん、リホ姉はしおり姉の後だから。指先の器用さには定評のある牧しおりです。
She really makes a V sign with her fingers and wiggles them around in the air.
しおりさんの指、まるで別の生き物みたいです。
Oh, also, while going through the sex scene, I finished off my second beer, so I'm now out. At least until tomorrow, because I'm not opening those two today. That's for sure. There was certain things she's not good at. This game, for instance. But the order we play in is still a little unfair.
このまま行くと、リホ姉が罰ゲームですかね。場所変わりましょうか？アミさん。
Rio calls out to Kozaki as if she were a rescuing lifeboat, but...
罰ゲームの内容って確かそうだ、一気飲
Whoops.
み。やっぱりこのままできましょう。そんな。
It seems the prospect of having a chug soda is enough to instantly shatter the bonds of friendship between women. Whoops.
他に私と場所を変わってくれる方は、それはちょっと。
Konami looks away.
リホ姉は運命を信じますか？
Sang rejects Rio's plea for clemency as if she were delivering a catchphrase. Then there's Shiori.
弾けるソーダ水、水も滴るいい女大作戦。
Pulling back around, she sits and waits for her next victim. It's become painfully clear that, among women, at least, the prospect of chugging soda is not the least bit appealing. Well, I can't say I really blame them. The way things are going, a terrible sight is about to unfold.
どうしてこんなことに？今日は午後休だからみんなで遊ぼうって宗太郎くんが。全部宗太郎さんの罠だったんですね。
Well, in a broad sense, I guess she's right. But Sanga was the one who decided the punishment.
だって絶対面白いですから。処刑なら私に任せてください。嫌です。嫌ですの。宗太郎さんなら場所変わってくれますよね。
What fun would it be if I did that?
先輩は鬼ですね。恋人にまで裏切られるなんて。恋人に裏切られたお嬢様に無理やり飲ませてびしょ濡れに。つまりそういうことですよね。
Hey, proper hydration is important, you know?
しおりさんの隣じゃなくてよかった。このままじゃ。
He has been backed into a corner. But at that exact moment...
待たせたな。師匠。ヒーローはいつも遅れてやってくる。
Is that a great heroic introduction? Sounds like a tragic safety slogan.
僕を差し置いて随分と面白いことしているみたいじゃないか。
It's just a simple game of Jenga.
なるほど。デスゲームか。
Please listen.
あれ、モブの会話って基本スキップでいいんじゃなかった？
I can see that. Man, I can't believe I'm treated around here.
とにかく僕も混ぜろよ。
With that, Yui sits. Sits down in the seat that's been reserved for a one-way trip to hell. Right next to Shiori.
どうしたのみんな。なにどういうこと？なんでもありませんよ。
Well, I suppose it's the role you were always meant to play.
夕日さんが天使に見えます。 使？はい、大天使です。あっちゃー、そっかそっか。いやー、参ったなー。僕、自分でも知らない間に神の御使いにクラスチェンジしてたか。では、早速始めましょうか。
Thus, once again, this poor sacrificial goat, she who calls herself the divine messenger of God, is swallowed up by the darkness. Let me tell you, it was absolutely legendary when Yuhi spewed all that soda out. If she'd only kept quiet, then our seemingly sweet Ojozama would have been... That's just who she is, I suppose. Today God poured his blessing out upon us once more.
宗太郎さん、今日も楽しく過ごせましたの。でも、それだけです。
Riho?
お仕事は何もしていません。だから、お金ももらえません。こうしている間にも、夏は一日ずつ減っていくのに。一日ずつ日めくりは剥ぎ取られて、二度とは戻れない過去になっていくのに、みんなは、前に進んでいるのに。私だけは、前に進めないんです。宗太郎さんのことを、道連れにして。私このままじゃ、どこにも行けなくなる。宗太郎さん、私はどこに行くんですか？違いますね。宗太郎さんは、私をどうするつもりなんですか？私を、どこへ連れて行くつもりなんですか？
Let's see, why don't we start by stepping outside?
外？
Yeah. To the observation platform.
ペルセウス流星群の極大日はもう、過ぎているんですよね。
True, but that doesn't mean it's impossible to catch a glimpse of one. Worst case scenario, you'll eventually fall asleep looking at the beautiful, peaceful and starry sky.
そのうち、ですか。
Yeah. Well, let's just wait for now. I'll tell her the truth. That's right, the peak window for watching shooting stars has come and gone. It should still be possible to see one, though. But compared to our original chances, Riho, who's a little slower on the draw than most people, may not be able to see as many shooting stars as she had hoped. It's entirely possible she won't see a shooting star at all this summer. Yet for some reason, I'm in no particular rush. In fact, I'd even venture to say I wouldn't care if I didn't see one this summer at all. But why is that? Why must it be that way? Rio's incredibly serious about her desire to see a shooting star. Could it be that somewhere in her heart I'm simply writing it off as someone else's problem? No, that's wrong. That's not it. At least I want to believe that's not it. That moment right before our very eyes, a shooting star streaked across the night sky. Did you see that?
はい。
And did you make a wish?
間に合いませんでした。
I see. True that a shooting star is significant to me in some way. It's true that a shooting star is significant to me in some way, well, to the present me at least. Yet on its own, perhaps there isn't much significant to it at all. But what is it to Riho? What is a shooting star to her? What is a shooting star to her? There we go. By definition, a shooting star is just cosmic debris surrounded by a colorful coma, the results of it burning up in the atmosphere. Yet, from ancient times, human beings have considered them to be something between a mystery and a miracle. As long as we're going by textbook definitions, what exactly is a human being? Humans are animals, and animals are made of meat. Meat is composed of proteins, and proteins are composed of coalescent molecules. Coalescent, more like that. And what about human emotion? The true nature of the human mind. The general theory goes that it's nothing more than intracranial impulses, just the firing off of random neutrons. Yet, if we're to take that as a fact, does the romance of the starry night sky suddenly vanish? The answer to that isn't a very difficult one. even if we know the earth is round, even if we know there isn't a god living in the heavens, we look up to those heavens, we gaze upon the star, and we see the face of God. That is the nature of the human heart. We wish, we pray, we hope. Every so often, we dream, and our imaginations soar. As a result, a great many stories were born. Those stories give birth to civilizations. In other words, the reality of a thing is much different from how we dream it to be. Imagination creates reality, and that reality becomes the very foundation of our society. So I, despite not having anything to gain from Riho making her wish, I don't deny her. I don't laugh at her seriousness. I honestly hope Riho gets the opportunity to wish upon a star. I want her to wish to come true, I really do. That's what I want. Yet why am I so... I don't know. In a sense, it seems I know as little about my own feelings as I do about Riho herself.
やっぱり無理なんでしょうか。
These words suddenly demand my attention, pulling me back to reality. What did you say just now?
私みたいにどんくさい子には願い事をする資格すらないのかもって。
You're being pessimistic. You're being pessimistic? That's unusual.
らしいって、私らしいって何ですか？
Well, she's usually energetic. Is she energetic now? Right now? She usually wears a wonderful smile. Is she even capable of smiling right now? She works harder than anyone else. Is she giving it her all right now? It does seem like she's a little off her game at the moment. That said, she's still...
私にはもうわかりません。
Rio stares at me with vacant eyes, but there's still a glimmer of light burning in there somewhere. Rio, do you truly want to make a wish upon a star?
それはもちろん。
If you truly mean that, then I'll help you. I'll make that wish with you. So it's about time you tell me. Tell me a true wish.
それはダメです。それに私の願い事は私のものだから、宗太郎さんに願ってもらうのは筋違いで。
So that's why it's a secret. You know? At least until the summer ends.
そんなことより宗太郎さん、いつまでこんなことを続けさせるつもりなんですか？
This?
毎日遊んでばかりで何もできないままで時間を無駄にして、たまにはみんなで騒いだりもするけれど、でもみんなは普通に自分のするべき仕事をしていて、なのに私たちだけは食べて寝て遊んで、その繰り返し。
Do you feel guilty?
それもあるけど、そうじゃなくて、このままじゃずっと置いてきぼりです。みんなと同じ島にいるのに、何もかもみんなと一緒にしてたはずなのに、どうして働いちゃダメなんですか？私もう元気になりましたよ。その証拠に昨日だって二人でいろいろしたじゃないですか。
I can vouch for that. Physically, at least, she's in tip-top shape. But I've told you before, you might be healthy now, but given your current mindset, you'll work yourself back into collapse soon enough.
働かせてください。お願いです。
It's not my call to make.
なら、誰が決めるんですか？お医者様？それとも渚さんですか？だったら、宗太郎さんからも言ってください。リホはもう大丈夫だからって。宗太郎さんのお墨付きがあれば、少しは話が通りやす
Nagisa not like that. Even if I put in a good word for you, that wouldn't change your mind.
そうですか。私、なんとなくわかるんです。少なくとも私よりも宗太郎さんの方が、信用、あると思います。
That's not true. We're the same. You, me, all of us.
同じなわけない！
Rio's smile has vanished entirely.
同じなわけない同じなわけない同じなわけがないんですよ
Oh, whoops, that's the nosebleed. Hold on. Hold up. Her emotions lay bare. Ew. Just occurred to me, I had no idea when it had happened. But before I'd realized it, Rio's voice had lost all its distinct Ojo-sama
い
overtones.
つもそうでした私と話をするときはみんないつも笑ってくれていましただから私も笑顔ですお嬢様の顔で世の中のこと何も知らない顔でそういうの期待されてたからそれ以外は何も期待されていなかったからでもしょうがないですよね私自分が人よりも鈍いことを知ってますどんなに頑張ってもみんなみたいには動けないそれでも家があんなことになってるのに私だけが何もできないままじゃ困るんですだから働かないともっともっと働いてお金をたくさん稼がないといけないんです
Her household circumstances were dire, so she needed money. I'd already figured out that much at least. By law, just how much do you mean? Enough to buy a new car? Or enough to revive KTK, your father's company? Oh, Jesus Christ, that's a lot of blood. My God. I can't use that one again. Ah, my hand's bloody. And that's on the table. Very sorry about this. Grab a second one. Just... When she hears my words, Rio's face stiffens. Then her shoulders slowly slump forward.
知っていたんですねお父様の会社のこと知っていて私の邪魔をしていたんですね
Obstructed. That simple word finds its mark, cutting deeply into my heart. I'm not one who cares much about human relationships. So I thought and expected this, however. But if I flinch now, if I just walk away, then I'd only be showing that I never took any of this seriously. I can't keep her from working forever. Let's do this all throughout the times now. As I prepare to speak, I quietly gather all my courage. The fact of the matter is, I know nothing. As far as their family business is concerned, I am a mere outsider. I only know what I read in some
な
magazine.
るほどなるほどなるほどなるほどなだからかそれを知っていたから宗太郎さんは私をかわいそうに思って優しくしてくれたり歩く練習に付き合ってくれたり恋人にしてくれたんですね宗太郎さんは優しいな
I only learned about your connection with the KTK group when I did some research following your collapse. I read about it in an old magazine someone left here on the island.
ならすぐに言ってくれればよかったのにでないと私とっても惨めじゃないですか
In hindsight, maybe staying silent wasn't the best choice. But even if I mentioned your connection to the KTK, it wouldn't have solved your problem. Besides, if she knew I knew, it might have taken a toll on her health. Under those circumstances, could I really have just told her? No, I didn't want to harm her health any further, so I kept it a secret. Besides, back when I found out, I still didn't know what your true intentions were.
本当の目的
It's That's right. Why were you so concerned with money? I wanted to get to the root of the matter.
これ以上はさすがに隠し通せないですよね。
Oh my god, my finger's all bloody, Jesus Christ. Oh. Disgusting.
私の家には負債が、借金がありました。そのせいで何もかも、お車も別荘もお屋敷も、幼い頃に住んでいた小さなお家さえも、売れるものは何もかもすべて事業に失敗したからです。私たちは結果を受け入れるしかありません。でも不思議ですよね。消えたのは物とお金だけのはずなのに、家族からは笑顔すらも消えたんです。
I'm not surprised. With such a drastic change in lifestyle, that would almost be a given. Why are we... hold on, what? Isn't this... what? Isn't this Nagisa's house that we saw at the end of Nagisa's route? Hold on, what? It takes someone a long time to adjust. There are those who go to their graves never having accepted such changes. Some of those people even end up taking their own lives. It's the only thing they have left to call their own.
だから私、決めたんです。せめてあの小さなお家だけは取り返そうって。そのためにも、私にはお金が必要なんです。働いて、働いて、働いて、働いて、働いて。とにかく一日でも早くお金を稼いでお家を買い戻さないと。でないと二度と手に入らなくなるかもしれません。だから私は、私だけがこんな場所で、こんなにも世間とは切り離された幸せな場所で、お金も稼がずにのんびりと暮らしているわけにはいかないんです。
Your wish is to regain your home then.
私の気持ち分かってくれますよね。宗太郎さん優しいですもんね。だから働かせてください。渚さんに言って私に仕事をさせてください。
That's not gonna happen. What hurt just now? I won't let you put yourself through that.
どうして分かってくれないんですか？私は家族のために、みんなのために働きたいだけなのに。
Is it really for everyone else's sake? What about that?
そんな。
Can we talk brass tacks for a second? This house you want to buy. How much does it cost for you? 10 million yen? 20?
9000万くらいです。
So nearly 100 million. She'd call it a small house. Well, it'd be small by no Josema's standards, I suppose.
でも今は中古物件ですから、もう少しは安くなると思いますけど。
Value of a house does depreciate over time after all. But still, 90 million. Even if it were to depreciate, I can't imagine it going down enough to make a significant dent. Okay, my nose stopped bleeding. There we go, finally. Yeah. I don't really know how much you get paid here. I make roughly 500,000 yen a month. Then let's do the math. To earn 90 million yen would take you roughly 180 months. Or about 15 years. Of course, we have to deduct these fun things called taxes from your paycheck, along with various living expenses. You know that? You know? Compared to most other jobs, the money you make here is extraordinary. But it's not enough to buy you the house you want. Besides, do you think you'll be able to work here indefinitely?
それは
I don't know what the owner of this island was thinking when it came to maintaining the facilities and staff. But right now, at least, I can't imagine a resort is anywhere near profitable. I say that even though I work here. Just because something is new doesn't necessarily mean it'll be a success. Hard truth is, times are tough around here. And in business, the future's always uncertain. Besides, even if this resort was a runaway success, would it even be possible to maintain the generous wages currently being paid to those who work here? I don't know how long it'll be before now hiring signs start popping up, but when they do, the wages here will most likely plummet. Once it happens, Ryo's predicament will grow even more dire.
分かってます。こんなことを続けていたってお家を買い戻せないのは分かってます。それでもお仕事をしっかり頑張れば一歩ずつですけど前には進めるんです。だから
You might feel like you're making progress, but you won't, not really.
そうですか。少なくともお金は入ります。それは前に進んでいる確かな証拠じゃないですか。
Even if you manage to keep advancing down this road, all that'll be waiting for you is a wall taller than any mountain. And if you plan your ascent poorly, you'll just slide back down to the bottom. There are also steep ledges. If you slip and fall from those, you may not survive.
それって
Death isn't something you can bounce back from.
死ぬってそんな大げさですよ。
Is it now? I'm not just saying this to scare you. It's just a cold. It's just fatigue. How many justs do you think it'll take to kill a person? Typically, when a person's tired, they rest. That's how things work. Otherwise, the body will eventually shut down. A built-in limiter operates between body and mind. But in Rio's case, for whatever reason, her limiter doesn't work. If I had to guess, it's probably just in her nature. Because of circumstances at home, she was driven to this unfortunate state of affairs. It's a good thing to challenge yourself. But it's not good to continuously exceed the limits of your mind and body. If you do, the worst could happen. You might never recover. That's what I fear most.
だけどそれでも私は家族に笑顔を取り戻したいんです。だから
I've never been rich in my entire life, so I'd be lying if I said I could understand the plight of someone who'd fallen from riches to rags. But when it comes to not having money, when it comes to a family torn apart, when it comes to the terrible things that bring you to your knees, circumstances that force you to work with all your might, those are all things I can understand. That's why I have to tell Riho this. Even if you get your home back, life won't go back to how it was before.
どうしてそんなひどいこと言うんですか。私にできることはそれぐらいしかないのに。それなのにどうして。
What do you intend to do if your family still isn't happy? Will your next step be to buy back the mansion? And well, when that fails, will you move on to reviving the company? It's not even remotely possible.
誰もそこまでするなんて言ってないじゃないですか。私はただみんなで過ごしたお家がみんなをつなぐ絆になったらいいなって。それに結果なんてやってみないことにはわからないじゃないですか。
Do you intend on regaining your house at the cost of your own health? Will you work yourself into an early grave? You won't make your family happy like that.
私そんな簡単に死んだりは。
You don't even consider how other people might feel, do you? Everything you're saying right now will only hasten your own death. Without realizing, I'd begun shouting. Yeah, I'm not shouting down here, though. No, don't feel like it right now. Sorry for yelling, but I just... Rio, if you keep this meaningless pursuit of work, you'll ultimately crash and burn. Simple as that.
意味がない。
That's right. That's why I'm worried, you know. Say you want to regain your family's house as soon as possible. Realistically speaking, I don't see that happening for at least another decade. No matter how many precious memories are packed inside that home, you can't trade your life for it. Don't you get it?
そんな意味ならありますよ。だって私頑張ってるし、だから頑張って、頑張れば。
Risking your own life, all to restore your family's happiness. Osgard, just say something along the lines of, okay, so you want to give your family one precious thing by taking something even more precious away from them. That's a bit ass back with logic, don't you think? I wish I could applaud your conviction, but if you keep on overworking yourself like this, the outlook is grim. Right now, there's a huge gap between Riho's dreams and reality. And her abilities, and her earning potential, those aren't things you can just overlook. When you're hoping to accomplish something, even one small step forward could be considered a win. But in your case, Riho, I think your ability to always give it your all is a valuable asset. But your current approach is all wrong. If you turn your eyes from reality, you'll also lose sight of your goal. You'll be led astray.
だったら私はどこに向かって進んでいけばいいんですか？教えてください。私はどうすればみんなを。
That instant, from the wellspring of my heart, a single phrase rose to the surface. But I don't know. There are words better left unsaid. A suggestion like that, even if I were to say it. Is there no other way of persuading you? None whatsoever?
何ですかそれ。なら、なんであんなこと言ったんですか？
Iliad lectured her with an air of superiority. There's a huge gap between my ideals and my reality. Seems you and I are a lot alike that way. Right now I'm just a young colt without an ounce of strength in me. So, anyway, like I said, give it a rest already. If anything were to happen to you, your family would be devastated, you know? Something like that happened, it'd be too late to...
宗太郎さん、もういいです。
Fine? What's fine?
だから、もういいんです。私は私にできることしかできないんだから、自分のやりたいようにします。だから、仕事にも復帰します。
I already told you that's for Nagisa to decide.
引き際って、大事だと思いませんか？もう、話はついたと思います。
How? How could our eyes have grown so
宗
cold?
太郎さんが仕組んだことだと分かった以上、部屋に引きこもっている理由はないですよね。渚さんと宗太郎さんが、どんな約束をしたのか、それは分かりません。ですが、多分、お医者様からの待機の指示も、最初の何日かだけが本物で、今はもうそんな制限も、ないんじゃないですか？
She's sharp, but Riho,
すみません。ちょっと疲れてしまいましたの。
Rio's tone suddenly snaps back to its old self.
私、少し歩いてから帰りますね。
I'll come too.
一人にさせてください。今は、一人がいいんです。
I get that, but
大丈夫です。心配なさらないでください。歩き方のコツ、だんだんつかめてきましたの。もう転んだりはしませんわ。
Ryo delivers her reply with a smile. It's a mask of what the Yojosama executed to perfection. Sea breeze, normally refreshing, feels oppressive tonight as it slithers and twists around my body. What should I have done? I muttered this to myself, then sighed deeply. In the beginning, I'd step out for a stroll by myself, then end up walking Riho back to the cottages. Before long, we started to leave for our walks together, and subsequently returned together. I should have followed that same pattern, but despite my intentions, when I returned, I was all alone. What now? I shouldn't think so negatively. I did the best I could in my own way. That's why it's frustrating when I catch myself imagining the worst case scenarios about the future. Honest to God, the power move. You yourself work yourself to fucking exhaustion until you pass out just to teach her a fucking lesson. That is the power move. Anyway, even if it's come to this, I could return to how I was before, alone. That would be the simplest ending to the story. But will I really be content with that? Is it fair to compare returning alone tonight with returning to how I was before? Leo's words just now are really eating away at me. Well, I'll just have to take it as it comes then. If you continue to venture into uncharted waters, you need to be decisive. I made a decision. What follows is merely the result of that decision. That's really difficult. Romance, Riho, everything. It's all so complicated, so heavy. Just plain hard to handle. Far more difficult than studying, that's for sure. I'm surprised at how much hard work it is. Even though it seems so simple at its core. I still struggle to find the answer. Given how things have turned out, should I abandon my responsibilities and just run away? I've sunk so low that I'm seriously considering it. But I still don't know what to do. Wanting to break off relationships with other people. I guess it's only human. So I'm human after all. At the end of this surreal inner monologue, I hear a bit of laughter, my own. It coils in the back of my throat and echoes through my bones. Rio's face froze when I said those harsh things to her. And now my body buckles and bends under the weight of that reality. What will happen to us? I asked this aloud, posing my question to the rolling, roaring waves, and perhaps to the starry night sky. I don't expect an answer, of course. It's been an hour since I've come home.
ただいま戻りましたの。
Rio finally returns. Welcome back. Have you calmed down a little?
まったく。
Rio says this with a beaming smile on her face. She draws her body near. Her soft peach-colored lips close in on mine. Waiting for me, she slips her tongue inside my mouth. My head fills with a pleasant white haze. All my doubts and worries fall away into that haze and disappear completely. I grip Rio's shoulders and force us apart. But what if...
ダメ。もっと。
Riho uses her body weight to lean into me. Once more, our tongues begin to wrestle. It's become increasingly difficult to resist. I ambush the intruder in my mouth, pinning down the tip of Riho's soft tongue with my own. Words aren't needed, neither are reasons. I understand completely, even without them. What we each need right now, more than anything, is to reaffirm each other's passion and warmth. So here we are.
いや、そんな強く。
I grab onto Rio's delightful breasts as I drink deeply off her lips. But I have to have her. Hell's a massive tits. Good thing I sensed it and I turned off the feed in time. See you after the sex scene. I do believe the sex scene is over. I don't know how things will be from here on out. There's still plenty of time left before the night ends. That's why until morning comes we'll enjoy our time together. Even if it were to all end with this one shining moment. Even if I'm no more than a parasite in Riho's eyes. Even if I'm just some temporary refuge from the storm. Truth of the matter is, the time we've spent living together on this island shines brightly. That truth will never fade. That's a nude sprite. Also, one of the lines that where happened in the sex scene is, "Do whatever you want to me, idiot that I am."
そういえば、
What the fuck?
そろそろですよね。
Almost time for what? Reading lunch at the moment.
あれもう時の流れって早い。
Time for what exactly?
仕事納め。そう太郎くん、もしかして忘れてたの？
As if I could. No matter how long and painful something is, sooner or later it comes to an end. But by the same token, it means our dreamlike days here must also come to an end. It won't be long until it's time to leave this job, and by extension, this island. I've been counting down our days left here. I want to savor every single one.
チーフな料理、美味しいですもんね。サンゴちゃん、そういう意味じゃないと思うよ。今回島から出るのは、宗太郎と海とサンゴとコナミ。じゃあ、リホさんとしおりさんは？私はもう2年もここにいますから。リホさんは？
Rio's going to stay on this island and keep working. It was her decision.
出会いがあるところには必ず別れもある。とはいえ、やっぱり寂しいものですね。なんだか帰りたくないな。私も。
There are those who are staying behind. There are those who are being left behind. While we each came from different circumstances, for the span of a month, we all worked our hearts together. Saying goodbye really is hard.
そういえば、宗太郎くんとメアド交換してなかった。ここにいると携帯が使えないから。
That was one of the ground rules when we first started working here. Mobile phones are prohibited. It's not like I can get even a single bar of reception out here anyway. Seems like the cell tower installation won't be completed until just before opening. Talk about inconvenient. Well, that's why I've been mobile free ever since I came to this island. Let's exchange mails later.
コナミちゃんもしなよ。でも男子のメアドって、そこは逆にチャンスって考えなきゃ。だって年上男子のメアドだよ。ここはぜひにでももらっとかないと。サンゴちゃん、もう恥ずかしいよ。
She's extremely excited.
そうかな。宗太郎、サンゴと浮気しちゃダメですよ。
I won't. But even if I did, hypothetically speaking, of course, it wouldn't be infidelity. You and I are already broken up.
それ本当？それってなんでコナミちゃんがそんなに青くなってるの？だってこの間まであんなに仲良くしてたのに。
Oops.
なんかすごくショックで。宗太郎くん、この度は女と申し上げたら、それだとお通夜みたいだよ。
Hold on.
ある意味、本当にお通夜かもしれませんが。
Shiri is merciless.
本当にダメだったんですか？
Did things not work out? I guess they didn't. And you even went out of your way to help us, Shiri.
そうですか。
Please don't look so sad, everyone. It's not like we got into a huge fight or
そう
anything.
ですよね。単に宗太郎の性癖がリホには強烈すぎただけで。
If anything, I'd say Rio has me beat in that department, but then again, I probably shouldn't say anything at all. Well, it's true that I was dumped. Although, to be honest, it's not entirely accurate. After the last time we were intimate, we went back to living in the same room together. We even talked as if nothing had changed. Rio, in her own way, agreed not to overwork herself anymore. And once more, I kept a watchful eye on Riho's health. But even so, it was clear we had a strong difference of opinion. Because of that immutable fact, the distance naturally formed between us. Rift opened, well, once there had been none. Our previous closeness was gone. We somehow found a way to respect one another's wishes and ended the relationship as adults. What you see now is the result. Riho still yearns for our physical intimacy, though, and tries to entice me even now.
宗太郎さん、そっち行ってもいいですか？しないんですか？セックス。今日はお休みですよね。だから。
But it's too dangerous to risk any further temptations. I still think it wouldn't be so bad to serve as Riho's refuge. But if I were to drown in passion and lose sight of reality, you and I, we'd never make any progress.
念のため言っておきますけど、私はノーマルですからね。
Like Saru just, oh, this is my chance, baby.
サンゴちゃんは何を言ってるのかな。まさか宗太郎さんと付き合うつもりじゃ。
Like Saru just say, like the bow just kind of like whip it out. Just kind of pulls on the bow, whip it out. What?
さぞ、そういうわけじゃないけど、念のためというか、転ばぬ先の杖だよ。二人のことを見てたら、先のことなんて誰にもわからないのかなって思ったし、だからって何もこんな時に。それはこんな時だからだよ。
After saying all this quite unconcernedly, Sango turns towards me with a smile.
宗太郎くん、元気出してね。
Thank you.
私もノーマルです。
念
のためですよ、念のため。でも宗太郎さん、本当に大丈夫なんですか？
Okay, with what?
だって二人は未だに同じ部屋で。
If I was putting Riho in an uncomfortable position in the bedroom, she'd tell me, right?
うわ、
Konami blushes.
それは大人の関係っていうか。
That's not what I mean.
そうだよ、宗太郎くんはそういうタイプじゃないよ。
At the moment, at least, we're no longer intimate. So, Sango isn't wrong in a way.
私だったら気まずくて無理かも。
It's not like Riho and I are on bad terms. It was a mutual
嫌
decision.
いじゃないのに別れたんですか？変なの。よくわからないけど、そういうこともあるんですね。っていうか、今日のこのみちゃん、すっごく喋ってるけど、もしかして恋愛に興味あり？そんなんじゃないよ。ただ、ちょっと気になっただけっていうか。ああ、案外、宗太郎くんのことを好きなのは、こなみちゃんの方だったりして。違うっていうか、なんで宗太郎さんの前でそういうこと言うかな。冗談なのに。冗談でも言っていいことと悪いことが。宗太郎さん、本当に違うんですよ。でも宗太郎さんのことが嫌いという意味でもなくて。
Really, don't worry about it.
そうですか。こなみちゃんが残念そう。違うってば。
As I watch this amusing back and forth unfold, something occurs to me. Since almost the end of our time here, why don't we light up some fireworks?
花火！わっはーい！いいかも。何かの隠語でなければ賛成です。
I'm pretty sure it's not what you think it is, Shuri.
いえいえ、先輩のことですから油断はできません。
Ozaki, why are you suddenly...
それじゃあ決まりですね。
打ち上げ花火がいいな。さすがにそれは師匠なら何とかしてくれるかも。宗太郎。
That! Amidst all the clamor, Shuri whispers something in my ear. But what?
本当にダメだったんですか？リホとのこと。
Oh, yeah.
私が余計なことを言ったから。
No, not at all. Far from it, in fact. If it hadn't been for Shiori's information, I'm certain my relationship with Rio would have remained superficial at best. It's our last night together, so let's spend it together. Rio would really like that, so I'll try to have fun tonight, Shiori.
はい。
Summer's coming to an end. And with it, our love.
あ、宗太郎さん。
I ran into Riho in front of the cottages. We haven't really talked yet today. How are you feeling?
それはもう、今度は嘘じゃありません。
I see. That's good to hear. As you stand there, silent, the evening sun quickly sinks. It's almost time for us to leave this island. Rio's expression turns gloomy.
本当に行ってしまうんですか？
Yeah, that's when my contract's up. Once summer vacation ends, my university life begins again. Whether I like it or not, I have to graduate. That's why I enrolled in the university in the first place, to become independent. If I allow myself to get into sentiment, I won't be able to stop. Above all else, if I remain here, I won't be able to play a role in solving Rio's problems. To achieve anything in this world, I need power. Might seem cynical, but this whole situation has made me all too aware of that fact. Are you in university, Riho?
今は家計も微妙ですし、私はお仕事を優先しますの。
I see. In light of these circumstances, there's another possibility, but is that the only road open to us right now? A long-distance relationship? There's definitely one way to go about it. But even so, as long as Rio remains trapped on this island, there isn't much I can do.
みんな行ってしまうんですね。
Rio has a distant look in her eyes as she says this. Seems so. I was talking to everyone today. Since it's our last night, I suggested we all light some fireworks together.
宗太郎さんが？
Yeah?
花火、いいですね。でも、
Why are you laughing?
やっぱり宗太郎さんはすごいなって。みんなをグイグイっと引っ張って。
What's that supposed to mean? Not really that type.
そんなことありませんわ。宗太郎さんって、きっとリーダーに向いていますの。
I don't think so.
と、仕事ぶりで人を引っ張るタイプ。追いたくなる背中というか。私なんて、ずっと手を引いてもらってばかりで。せめて、次に島に来る方々には、迷惑をかけたくないんですけど。
If you want Rio, I'll always... Rio worked so hard to look cheerful, suddenly seems worried once again. Sorry. Let's just enjoy the fireworks for the day. For now, okay?
はい。楽しみにしていますわ。
Tomorrow, it'll be time to leave this island. Not before that. All of us who shared both joy and sorrow on this island, we gathered together on the beach.
渚さんや夕日さんも一緒だったらよかったんですけど。
そうですね。でも仕方ありません。お仕事ですから。
Besides, there's quite a lot of fireworks here.
夕日曰く、選別だそうです。
See? It's hard to explain, but that seems so like her.
宗太郎さん。
Sounding rather anxious, Rio pulls on my sleeve. What's wrong?
二人、放っておいても大丈夫ですか？
I follow the direction of Riho's gaze and see Sango a short distance ahead of us.
二刀流！
ダメだよ、そんな一気に。
一気にやんなきゃ終わんないよ。師匠 しお手ばたくさん持ってきたんだから。
だからって。
I can clearly see Yuhi's ponytail there, so this is going to be used in Sango's route as well, isn't it?
あーた
だから、
Oh, actually
サン
no.
ゴちゃん振り回したら危ないよ。
Forget what I said. I'm a fool.
大丈夫大丈夫。みんなの近くではやらないし。
私には近いよ。
大丈夫。私が守ってあげるから。背の国も売りな、コナミちゃん。
サンゴちゃんが振り回さなければそれで済む話なのに。
私に近づくとやけどするぜ。
みんなが平気でもサンゴちゃんがやけどしちゃうよ。火薬って危ないんだから。
でも危険を顧みないのが英雄の条件だから。
いい加減にしなよ。でないとかけるよ、バケツの水。
冗談だよ、コナミちゃん。
Yeah. Contrary to all appearances, it's probably safe. Right? Konami somehow helps rein in her friend's reckless enthusiasm. Do they make a good pair?
あれ
Kozaki fishes around the fireworks back, seemingly looking for something. What are you looking for, Kozaki?
ヘビ花火はないのかなって。
Hold on. There you go, now it should be less annoying for a bit at least. I'm surprised you're into
こ
those.
んなこともあろうかと。ここに
A moment later, Shiori produces some snake fireworks out of thin air. Wow, there actually were some.
侮ってもらっては困ります。
I wasn't estimating you. I know your planning skills are unmatched. She wouldn't have come all the way out here without being adequately
ヘ
prepared.
ビ花火がない花火なんて花火とは言えませんから。
ですよね。
What, is that how it works? Well, it's an odd shared sentiment. As long as it brings them closer together, it's fine by me. But still, am I missing something here? Sorry to be a pain, but what exactly is the appeal of snake fireworks?
いろいろありますが。
All sorts of things.
そうですね。私の場合、うにゅーって伸びていくところでしょうか。
Sounds incredible.
あの姿を見ていると心が和んでいきますね。
It's a rapturous glow into Umi's eyes as she says this. There's a rapturous glow to Umi's eyes as she says this.
少しずつ伸びゆく姿を眺めていると、まるで子供の成長を見守る母のような気持ちになれます。
Well, to each their own, I
リ
suppose.
ホさんは何を探しているんですか？
It seems like Rio's suddenly begun rifling through the fireworks stash as well.
私は、あったこれですの。
Those are...
線香花火。
いいですよね。見ているとなんだか切なくて。
儚くて。
でもそういう雰囲気が素敵だけど、
Fuck.
リホさんが線香花火推しというのはちょっとだけ意外でした。
そうですの？
はい。だってリホさんってなんていうか花のあるイメージだから、花火も派手めなのが好きなのかなって勝手な思い込みですけど。
もちろん大きくて綺麗な花火も好きですの。ですけど、どの夏でも私の記憶に残っているのは、最後に残った線香花火をみんなで囲んでいるところで。わかります。私も昔。
Fury suddenly stops short.
すみません。
あれしおりさん、なんで泣いて。
大丈夫です。少し目にゴミが入って。でももう取れましたから。
As long as it's gone now, then okay.
よくないですよ。目にばい菌が入ったら先輩はどうやって責任を取るんですか？
I hadn't really thought about it. But would I really be the one responsible for that?
水は 消化用の歯科は？
ここにペットボトルが。本当に大丈夫ですから。
そうですか？しおりさんがそう言うなら。
本当に大丈夫ですの？問題ありません。それよりも、少し変な空気にしてしまいましたね。お詫びの景気づけとして、すべての線香花火を束ねて、一度に着火したいと思います。
With that, Judy grabs a lighter and a bunch of sparklers and gets to her feet.
待ってください！それじゃ台無しですよ！
冗談ですけど。
It was a joke.
冗談ですのに。
Typical Kozaki, Mario has been known to jump to conclusions or to a conclusion or two, had caught on to Shiori's intent. But I guess it's important for Kozaki to stay true to herself. Before long, we'd managed to burn through almost all the fireworks.
いよいよ、真打ち登場。線香花火のお時間となりましたの。真打ちって主役ってことだよね。でも地味だし。はあ！全部一緒に火をつけてみるとか。
Shiori suggested it earlier.
同じ。サンゴと被るのは地味にショックです。ゴーン。
It's a little rude to Sango. While it's a little rude to Sango, I kind of get what Shiori means. Just thinking about it makes me chuckle. Konomi's eyes dance with laughter as
お
well.
かしいですね。
Yeah. And with that, we both laugh some more.
それでは最後の締めですね。
Everyone gathered on the beach. Everyone gathered on the beach leans forward, their faces dimly lit by the sparklers, their golden red glow. Their faint crackle can barely be heard over the crashing waves. Of the waves. They can't begin to compare with the other fireworks. They lack impact. Nevertheless, that's what sparklers are.
綺麗
ですね。
Everyone's mesmerized, their eyes fixed on the spectacle. Their elegance, their fleeting beauty. Drama sparklers is manifold. And these girls, all possessed of their own charms, are fascinated by the sparkler's faint flickering glow. Can't help but wonder, what is it about sparklers' light? In defiance of all reason, they hold some strange sway. So?
私、実は。
As if she'd been inspired by that same strange force.
実は皆さんとお別れになる前に、話しておきたいことがありますの。
Ryo begins to speak.
本当は、こんな話をされたって、困るだけかもしれません。でも。
The sounds of the sparks meld with the sound as the sea. Bottle of chocolate is our right now. Apart from these two noises, the beach is silent. Ryo's voice carries clearly. No one says a word. They turn towards Riho, giving her their full and undivided attention. At this point, no one yet knows the contents of her speech. Neither do I. What's Riho about to say? I have no idea. From her tone, however, it's clear this will be no casual conversation.
聞きますよ。しかも無料です。しおりさん。この島では、大体のものがそうなんです。だから、力にはなれないかもしれませんが、気軽に話してください。
Fuck! That one sentence eased Ryo's anxiety. Even if only slightly, her expression softens.
私、本当はもう、お嬢様じゃないんです。父が、事業に失敗して。
それは、なんて言ったらいいのか。
それはそういうものだと思いますから、気になさらないでください。小さい頃に、ある日突然、それなりの振る舞いを身につけなさいって言われて、それからは、それっぽく話すようにはしているんですけど、
でも、全然板につかなくて。自分でも、いかにも偽物っぽくて、この喋り方は嫌だなって思いながらも、拒否も、強制もできなくて、へんてこな喋り方のままで、そのまま成長しちゃって。でも、今回授業の失敗で、もうお嬢様じゃなくなったから、ようやくこれで、元に戻れるって、普通の女の子になっていいんだって、そう思っていたのに、戻せなかったんです。
別に、それでも構わないんじゃないですか。私も、人のことをとやかく言えるような立場ではないですが。
そうなんでしょうか。家も、お金もなくなって、家族からも笑顔が消えて。
Here's the thing though, at least your family, like your actual family didn't disappear. Like, this is all like, oh, this is not nice. Like, but we've went through Shiori's route already, so, toughen up, Buttercup. It could have been worse.
それで私まで、お嬢様を演じることを、みんなが笑ってたあの頃が、本当に手の届かない日々になってしまう気がして、もう二度と、あの頃には戻れないような、半分意地になって、あの口調を保っていました。そのことを、ずっと引け目に思っていたんです。
It was as if they'd been waiting for Rio to finish speaking. Their sparklers of dying embers fell to the beach with a plop. I accidentally opened the goddamn thing.
少なくとも私は気にしませんよ。程度の差こそあれ。人って自分を演じてる部分があるじゃないですか。私だって、多分。だから、確かに皆さんは、そんな私のことを温かく迎え入れてくれました。けど、今日で最後なのに、最後まで本当の自分を見せずに嘘をついたままでいたら、皆さんとの毎日まで嘘になってしまうんじゃないかなって。
嘘だなんて。
このままじゃ、今日この日を思い返すたびに自分のことが嫌いになりそうで。だから、自分の都合で勝手ですけど、どうしてもここで告白したかったんです。すみません。最後の最後に、自分の都合でこんな、本当に、呆れちゃいますよね。でも、おかげで少しだけ、すっきりできた気がします。本当にごめんなさい。
Riho?
よくわからないけど。
リホ姉はリホ姉だから、そんなことで嘘になったりはしないんじゃないかな。
Whoops.
サンゴの言う通りです。喋り方がどうであれ、本質は何も変わりません。
そうですよ。男が優しそうな顔とは裏腹に、狼なのと比べたら、全然問題ありません。そうですよね、先輩。
Why are you looking at me?
当然の成り行きです。皆さん。
Riho was quickly overwhelmed with emotion. In an instant, her eyes filled up with tears.
私は本当に、何をするにも要領が悪くて、その上、自分の身勝手で、勝手に倒れたりして、皆さんに迷惑をかけたのに、こんなにも優しくしていただいて。私、バカでした。ずっと、バカでした。待ってください。それを言ったら私もみんなを騙していたわけで。
最初、優しそうな人がいて、ほっとしてました。後からは、癒される人って感じでしたけど。
リホ姉と遊べて楽しかったです。
サンゴは、リホにベタベタしすぎでしたね。
だってリホ姉って、 ちいいだもん。
How do I explain this? If you were to look at the relationship between Ryo and myself, all you might see are our differences. At a certain point, Ryo found herself thinking about a number of things, and as a result, everyone rose to the challenge, accepting her beliefs and working to support her. Right now, there's something I need to do. It might help support her, even if only indirectly. It's possible for me to solve the root cause of all her problems, but even if just a little, I think this might help the current situation. We'll make the occasional mistake. It's difficult to avoid those entirely. But with diligence, we'll be able to move forward, even if just by a single step. In the end, Ryo wasn't the only one for whom the most essential things had become invisible. I find myself in a similar position.
私は、リホね。いつもとは逆だけど、私の胸で泣いてもいいよ。
Sango opens her arms wide and waits for Riho.
そうだろうさん。
Yeah. Ryo runs and, passing Sango right by, jumps into my arms. Like, oh, I could, the way I imagine it is just like Sango just like, jump into my, you cry, go ahead, cry into my chest. She just walks past, she just runs past her. Just slowly zooms in on her face and there's just a single tear that goes down.
そうだろうさん。私本当は。
What Ryo's about to say to me is likely far more important and future-focused than anything we've discussed so far. But that's why, despite how dramatic and passionate it might seem, it's an important moment. Ryo, wait. To stop her from talking. The fact that I interrupted her right now, it wouldn't be odd for her to see that as a rejection. In fact, Ryo's trembling terribly. But even so, I thought doing so would be for the best. Because, look behind you. Hurry! Look! Everyone, look! Look! Because directly behind Ryo, something unbelievable is happening. Meteor shower. Everyone looks in the same direction, their faces filled with awe and wonder. There, a long streak of light, a meteor. As if slipping from the curtain of the night sky, it plunges towards the sea.
流れ星。
And not just one. There are countless meteors falling. Dazzlingly bright, they streak slowly earthward. One after the other. Talking is hard. They arc over the sea and towards the horizon, etching long trails across the sky, then vanishing in the distance.
ペルセウス座流星群？
This isn't them. Well, that was a good guess by Kozaki. The fact of the matter is that the position and appearance of these is different. The meteor shower we're looking at right now is the Kappa Cygnids. If the meteor shower is visible in August, it's the only one that reaches its peak after the Perseids. Moreover, it's not usually that active of a meteor shower. It typically averages between 2 and 4 sightings per hour. Meteors that trace relatively slow and long paths against the sky are one of its defining characteristics. But this might sound harsh, but to a layman, it'd be considered trivial, not even worth observing. He might all but forgotten of its existence until just now. In fact, it caught me completely by surprise. The number of observable meteors varies from cycle to cycle, of course. But for there to be such a huge fluctuation, even though logically speaking it's not impossible, I never thought the number might skyrocket so high. Never imagined, not for one instant, I'd see such a thing with my own eyes.
私、
Ryo suddenly directs her words to the shooting star. Folding both of her hands together, she offers up a fervent wish. But her words break off there. She stays that way until there's only one meteor left in the starry sky, a long trail stretching out behind it. That's fucking bright! It glows brighter and brighter, and in an instant, it disappears in space. I can still see the brightness! It shouldn't be surprising that until the very last second that Riho had wished upon the stars in silence, right?
願い事ですか？何をお願いしたんですか？それは。
I know it's a secret, but tell us. I got caught up in the moment. The words just came out.
それはですね。やっぱり秘密です。
I see. I'm a little worried, you know. Exactly what did Riho ask the stars for? Oh. For just a moment my heart comes close to breaking, but at that instant she embraces me. Having heard her earlier words, I hold her tightly. That answers my question, doesn't it? But was this the desired outcome, or even the proper one? In other words, was this the right answer? I don't know. But even if we keep making mistakes, at least we'll keep moving forward. For us to advance, even a little, will require great effort. But at the moment of decision, just being able to choose which way to face and where to head is a wonderful thing. There are things we can't know. And what little we do know, we only ever learn in hindsight. To make any choice or decision requires a corresponding amount of courage. And to challenge a foe head-on takes more courage still. But, no matter the foe, I'll face it. Our decision has set things in motion. All that's left now is to wait for the outcome. Judy?
私が見送りでは不服ですか？
Not at all. It's the cutest send-off ever.
一瞬、宗太郎さんの姿がチーフと重なって見えました。
If I were Wataru, I'd have to praise myself while praising you. For example, the beautiful me is living in beautiful fashion, so naturally a beautiful girl like you is needed to complete the scene. You're only here to make me look even better, of course, or something like that.
やっぱり、宗太郎とチーフの中の人が入れ替わったんでしょうか？
I wonder. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that were true.
では頭をかち割って、その中身を確認してみましょう。
Please put that knife down. Stop! But really, to think this is goodbye, it's a little sad.
本当にまた会いたいと思うなら、また会えますよ。
But not on this island, right?
ええ。
On the mainland, then?
それが、星の巡り合わせというものです。リホと宗太郎が出会ったように。あの夜、私たちがあの流星に巡り会えたように。
That was just a coincidence.
願えば叶う。今はなぜか、そんな気がするんです。
I don't think life's nearly that
知っ
kind.
ています。どうしてか、思うようにはいきませんよね。でも、だからこそ、絶対にありえないようなことだって起こり得る。そういう可能性が存在している。だから、どんなに可能性が低くても、そう悲観的になる必要はない。
I'm somehow starting to doubt that I'll be able to, like, finish a single route of this in one day. Also, this fucking... I have, like, a band-aid here because, like, one of my hair apparently dug itself into the skin and became inflamed. So basically we put some cream on there to help with that and then put the band-aid there. But it's just, like, kind of tearing at my hair and my skin when I move it wrongly. And it hurts like a bitch. Like, especially with a man as hairy as I am. Like, just, there's so much hair there that it can just kind of grip and rip the fuck out. So yeah, that's not nice at all. Anyways.
みんなで花火をしたあの瞬間、 そう思えたんです。
Sorry, I don't think I can really relate to that feeling. In the end, it seems I'm more focused on sure bets than long shots.
そうですか？ただ単に言葉で伝えるだけじゃ伝わらない。
Whoops.
だからリホにとって大切なことが一体何なのか、それを他の誰でもないリホ自身に見つめ直させる。そのためにはまずリホを仕事から引き剥がして労働依存から脱却するための十分な休息時間が必要になる。だから強制的に仕事を休ませた。そしてその間の報酬がリホにとって本当に必要なものならば、その穴は宗太郎が補填する。補填できない場合は宗太郎が融通する。それが宗太郎の木月里穂再生プランでしたよね。
About that, did you hear that from Nagisa? I see. I guess I couldn't hide it even if I wanted to, huh?
彼女さんの負担を全部自分が受け持つなんてかっこつけすぎじゃないんですか？
It's true that I had such intentions when I first negotiated with Nagisa, but in reality, didn't end up having to cover any gaps for her. And to be honest, she paid me back in kind. We both benefited from the situation, so I don't really have any objections. Can I make one quick comment, though? That plan of mine, it didn't have such a grandiose name.
私がつけました。
Oh, I see.
ネーミングはともかく随分と気長で、しかも生ぬるいやり方でしたね。でも木月里穂再生プランも
Keep using that name.
宗太郎のそういう分かりにくい優しさも嫌いではありませんでした。
But even now I have my doubts as to whether it was the right approach. In the end, I wasn't able to do anything about the money that Riho's parents owed. Thinking about it calmly, I see I've done all I can for now. There might be better ways of handling the situation after all.
例えば力ずくでこの島から奪うとか。
That's one possibility. I've definitely considered it. Once I leave this island, my normal everyday life will be waiting for me. It's not exclusive to me. It's the same for everyone. In Rio's case, what would she do about going to a university? And even if she were able to buy back her parents' home after so long, what kind of life would they have together? Most likely answer is that nothing would change. For the sake of argument, let's assume she's able to buy back her family home. Property taxes and cost of upkeep are no laughing matter. Family's entire company was wrested away from them. That kind of loss can't be covered by a part-time job. No matter how I look at it, it's a mistake to leave Riho on this island. But as far as Rio's concerned, her compulsive need to work is reason enough for her to stay here. In a way, it's a form of escapism. Rio has to realize the error of her ways on her own. Possibly taking her from this island would,
迎える結末は同じ。
I don't know how it'll end up.
宗太郎が危惧していたことは当たっていたと思います。
Maybe you do too,
も
Shuri?
しも私が彼女の立場だったなら、
If?
ああ、そんな、宗太郎、二股なんて見損ないました。
She's got far too active an imagination. This is actually when her route actually happens. It's like her entire route was just played out in her mind, and that's exact the moment, and that's like actually what her route is. Literally just her reaction to this. and just imagining everything. But right now, that overreactive imagination of hers is working to help me. But you know, I was thinking, if I'd only learned about Rio's situation
管
earlier.
理人さんがそうであるのと同じで、家庭の事情をペラペラと喋るわけには。
By the way, verboten is actually German. It literally means forbidden. Well, yeah, of course. I'm not looking to annoy Shiuri. After all, if she hadn't helped us out when she did, it's scary to think about. I could easily say she's been our benefactor. By the way, where's everyone else? I say everyone, even though I know Sango and Konami already left the island earlier this morning.
管理人さんとリホのことですね。
Yeah.
リホとは今朝まで相部屋でしたよね。好きなだけ愛を語らうことができたのでは。
Nah, that's... How do I put it?
そこは徹底してはぐらかすんですね。
Give me a break.
管理人さんからは伝言が、あなたのせいで残業が終わらない。だそうです。
You asshole gave me more work! She's mad at me, isn't she?
何かしたんですか？
I have no idea.
やっぱり、リホとの変態的プレイに問題が。
What do you know about that?
何も。
Please let me off the hook already. My gracious.
おーい、モブリメ
I'm going to beat the shit out of you. Yes. What's a mole, man? Don't tell me you didn't catch my reference to a classic American comic book villain. He reminds me of you. That's her line.
最後まで細かいやつだな。
I feel like these two should be swapped. Ah!
そんなことより、そろそろ船出すぞ。海はもう乗ってるんだからな。
Okay.
どうやら時間ですね。意地悪はこのぐらいにしておきます。
Shitty? You've helped me countless times.
宗太郎。それは私も同じです。
Have I? Me helping you? I don't remember at all, Shiuri.
私たちだけじゃありません。誰しもが、助けられた。ただ、宗太郎に一番助けられていたのは、リホだったのかなとは思いますけど、それも、星の巡り合わせでしょうか。
Shiuri?
さようなら、宗太郎。あなたは、なかなかいい男でした。
I don't know why my gaze just kind of gravitated towards her belly button as the fucking screen faded out. That was kind of weird. As I watched the tropical paradise recede in the distance, I think back upon my life there. Safe to say, I will never set foot on such an island again, not in this lifetime. Even if that's an exaggeration, I certainly won't be coming back anytime soon. I only spent a month there. At that time, I had so many meaningful experiences. I do have one regret, however. That's right. The softness which once nestled into my back, a girl named Riho. Familiar softness presses against my back, then the most distinctive trait of all, that warm soft laughter. Turned my head in a panic, thinking how improbable it would be.
宗太郎さん。
Ah. Yes. Titty. Ah! Those two plump, and oh so ripe melons dangle over my head. Behold!
私、来てしまいましたの。
It's just down there. She's come to. Why? I mean, what about your job? Don't tell me you got fired.
まずいですか？
I'll say it's bad. It means you were kicked off the island. Ah, that doesn't matter. Missing work, or should I say deserting work in this case, is a sin not easily forgiven in our society. But when you think about it, it doesn't seem like there's any particularly urgent work on that island. And from a purely selfish perspective, seeing Rio here right now is a pleasant surprise. But is this really okay? You'll be missing out on your pay from work. When you skip out on a job halfway through, there's always a chance of your pay getting docked. I can't say it's a great way to handle the situation.
お金のことはともかくとして。
Let's leave money, the matter of money aside for now. It's one thing for me to say it, but I never expected those words. I never expected to hear those words coming from your lips.
意地悪なことは言わないでほしいですの。
Cute.
途中で抜けるのがいけないことなのは、私もよくわかっています。ですから、それを皆さんに相談したら、海さんが、私の分まで、もうしばらくだけ、あの島に残ってくれるって。
Substitution! Ozaki?
はい。先輩にたくさん迷惑をかけたお返しですって、そうおっしゃっていましたの。
She.
それから、もう一つ言われたことがあるんです。
What's that?
今度こそちゃんと責任を持って、リホさんを幸せにしてくださいね。
Ah! I accidentally touched it with my tongue. That was not intentional. Fuck.
だそうです。
I see.
でも、今度こそってどういう意味なんでしょうね。
She, probably said that because I'd been rejected.
誰が誰にです？
No, she's talking about you rejecting me.
振ってませんよね。
You were going to stay on the island.
でも、残りませんでした。
It's still basically a rejection.
振ってませんの。むしろ私の方が愛想つかされたのかもって心配していたぐらいですわ。
I see. Even though the two of us disagreed on numerous occasions, pretty much daily in fact, our feelings for each other didn't change one bit. I only just realized that, Riho, but you're back to talking like an Ojo-sama.
はい。この方が皆さんから好評だったようですので。
Ah, so you just got used to it. If you think about it, that Ojo-sama tone is basically Ryo's defining characteristic.
宗太郎さんはお嫌いですか？
No, I don't hate you. In fact, I think you're a good match for me.
実を言うと、私もなんです。変ですよね。あんなに嫌いでしたのに、いつの間にやら愛着が。
It's not that I don't understand it. We had distorted the truth, pretending to be an Ojo-sama when she wasn't. But despite everything we went through, the good and the bad now, the good and the bad, well, I felt about her never changed. Ow! Fuck!
ところで、宗太郎さん、自分で島を飛び出してきておいて、こんなことを言うのもどうかとは思うのですが、私って、これからどこに向かっていけばいいんでしょう。
That's a good question. Neither of us really have money, and her family's debts far outweigh its income. But, well, I'm sure we'll be able to manage. The little prince, having recognized the essential things in life, returned to the rose he treasured most. I already know what's essential to me. First and foremost, figure out who's most precious to you and keep that person by your side. It doesn't matter what direction we head. From now on, let's stay together forever. Ryo's smile blossoms in an instant. That smile had stolen my heart. By observing the stars, you might be able to grab hold of the sun. This summer has convinced me of that. Hate it! Ending time. I'm still unable to skip it. And I accidentally tapped out. And there's now... Like, the thing that was open behind my game was social media. Somebody posted porn. I suppose I'm gonna skip this. I'll just mute myself, I suppose. Okay, the only reason why I paused that already is so I can quickly just get it away from the fucking screen. Anyways, 347, like 55. I was not expecting this again, so I'm gonna skip this real quick. Okay, the sex scene is over.
お詫びにもう一回してください。
Okay. Apologizing for sex with more sex is an incredibly bizarre concept. Nevertheless, it's what we both desire. Perhaps the stars knew what we were doing when they brought us together. June. Despite it being the rainy season, the skies are clear today. Perfect weather for an outing.
なんだか窮屈そうですわね。
I'm not really used to wearing tails, you know. The two of us have to abide by a special dress code today. Yours, on the other hand, seems to fit perfectly.
ドレスには違いありませんから。
Just what you'd expect from a former... just what you'd expect a former Ojo-sama to say. Be careful not to step on the hem when trim.
それはお父様次第です。
Standing directly behind Riho, her father wears a strange smile. Thank you, and congratulations.
よろしくお願いいたしますわ。
The two of us bow in turn. Anyways, it doesn't quite feel real.
そうですの？
Just a little. We made a promise before God. We said our vows. We exchanged rings. And despite all that, my state of mind seems the same as ever.
私は待ちくたびれました。
But you're the one we've been waiting for, Riho.
まあ、社長に口答えなんて。
Riho puffs her chest proudly. Whoops. It happened after we'd left the island, just before I graduated college.
私、やってみたいことがあるんです。
Those words eventually led to Riho and I starting a small company together. Rio's job was to figure out what products we'd carry. Mine would be to handle the finances and other business considerations. It's not like we were an overnight success, though. But, seeing how inexperienced we were, Rio's father helped us out from behind the scenes. With that, we finally started getting our business on track 2 years ago. Okay. Sorry, Madame President.
社長様って、そういうのを何というか、ご存知ですか？インギンブレイと言うんです。
Astute as ever, Madame President. You sure know some big words.
そうですよ。社長には敬意を払わないと。
That's your wish, then. Shall I call you Madame President from now on?
それは、もう、軽い冗談でしたのに。
Me too. I just wanted to watch you get flustered, Riho.
まあ、いつから私の宗太郎さんは、こんなに意地悪になったんでしょう。
I wonder! Looking at this clear blue sky, I think back to a different sky we'd watched together so long ago.
私たち、あの島で出会ってから、
It's been 6 years already, hasn't it?
実を言うと、私もなんです。
Believe what?
今日という日を待ち望んでいましたのに、ずっと楽しみにしていましたのに。
She shrugs the shoulders of her gauzy white
不思
dress.
議です。まるで島で二人流星群を待ちながら夜空を見上げていたあの日のように、心が穏やかで物静かで、
But that you mean...
いつもと同じということですの。
Did the wedding not live up to your expectations?
そんなことありませんわ。とっても素敵な準備ができました。
Whoops. We'd invited everyone we met on the island to our wedding reception. Umi is one of our employees now. She's waiting on the other side of the banquet to be tossed. Okay, it's nice that Umi actually works for them and she's just sitting there. Come on, Mama's gotta marry next. We were really looking forward to reuniting with the people who'd helped bring us together. Meanwhile, my divorced parents only sent a congratulatory telegram. So my feelings are a bit complicated right now. I don't know what my relationship with my parents will be like from now on. Although, perhaps that telegram came as something of a relief. Given our current relationship, maybe they'd maintain just the right amount of distance.
今みたいに穏やかな気持ちを取り戻せたのは、きっと宗太郎さんに出会えたからです。そうでなかったら今頃は。
Rio's usual gentle eyes suddenly narrow. The focus on her eyes is, of course, me.
そんな日々は想像したくもないですけど、私、もし生まれ変わったとしても、宗太郎さんと一緒がいいです。
Yeah.
それ以外はもう何も望みません。
I'd also want to end up with you. But to tell you the truth, there's one thing I'd change if I could.
秘密の告白ですか？
Nothing that big, but still it's pretty important. To tell you the truth, I was always really nervous when I was with you, Riho.
そうでしたの？
I mean, those looks and that figure all wrapped up with an air of vulnerability. How could a guy be expected to stay calm around that? If that guy's me, it's pretty much impossible.
リホといると和むなっていつも言ってましたのに。
That's different. I'm a guy after all. What are you laughing
だ
at?
って、エッチなことばかり考えているから、そうなるんですわ。
Rio cups her hand to my mouth and whispers so only I can hear. That's not what I was trying to tell you.
私は純粋にくっつきたかっただけですのに。
So you say, but for you, simply usually means...
純粋でしたよ。宗太郎さんに怪我されるまでは、私の最初は、全部、あなたに捧げました。昨日の夜だって。
I'm standing in front of my father-in-law right now. Do you really think there's the time and place to be discussing this?
聞こえていませんわ。
What were we even talking about? What? Were we even talking about this to begin with?
そういう話になりましたの。
So let's stop talking about it! She was able to skillfully change the topic of conversation. This is a sign of her growing maturity.
準備が整いました。
We hear the official announcement. Alright, let's bring the ceremony to an end.
いよいよ最後の大仕事ですね。ちゃんと投げられるか心配ですの。
It'll be okay. We're both prepared. Or at the very least, I think Rio practiced the bouquet toss yesterday. Also, this isn't quite the finale. This isn't the finish line we're crossing. The journey starts from this moment on, doesn't it?
そうでした。
Let's go, together. What is essential is invisible to the eye. But right now I shine brightly like a shooting star. Not everything in this world will be quite as easy to see. But I'm sure we'll be fine.
大好きなあなたと、どこまでも。
After all, on this journey, we have our feelings to guide us. The ending is probably my favorite one right now, the after credit scene. But you know that I'm a sucker for after credit scenes like that where they get happily married. The only way to make this better is if they already are married and are currently raising kids together or something. Like, that's the only way for it to get better, you know? Anyways, so yeah. That's Riho's route done. Next week, we'll be going for Sango's route. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. And hope you guys are looking forward to the next one. So yeah. See ya. Bye.